Good evening, and welcome to Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference and home of the Allen Institute for Human Rights. You can visit the Allen Institute at https://aihr.foundation. My name is Frank Allen, and I will be your host for the evening. The views and opinions that are expressed by our listeners are not necessarily the views of Targeted Massachusetts, the Allen Institute, nor myself. It is the goal of this conference to be a place where people who are victims of organized stalking, intimidation, electronic torture, and mind control in all differing forms and from various sources can feel free to openly and safely discuss any of their fears, hopes, strategies, and solutions for themselves, and to offer advice, support, and encouragement for one another. It is understood that some people may not always agree with one another, so let us start this conference with the willingness to agree to disagree, keeping in mind that it is much more important to support one another than for us to always be correct. Tonight, I'm going to review a piece by Mohimir Gobashek, and it's Will the People Allow Themselves to be Deprived of Their Freedom of Thought? We are on a path to a world in which it will be possible to decode people's mental processes and directly manipulate the brain mechanisms underlying their intentions, emotions, and decisions, where individuals could communicate with others simply by thinking. Those lines were written by 25 scientists in the article entitled 4 Ethical Priorities for Neural Technologies and AI in the scientific magazine Nature in November 2017. The scientists noted as well that powerful computational systems linked directly to people's brains will aid their interactions with the world such that their mental and physical abilities will be greatly enhanced. According to their estimates, this situation could materialize already within years, since some of the biggest world investors, including Elon Musk's startup firm Neuralink, launched in 2017, are investing in the creation of devices that can do both read human brain activity and with neural information into the brain, it can be done rather easily, since the information in the brain is transmitted by number and frequency of nerve impulses, and thus is in principle digital. According to the scientists, current spending on neurotechnology by for-profit industry in 2017 was already $100 million per year and growing fast. The U.S. government has spent $500 million on the development of neurotechnology since 2013. The companies Apple and Samsung had in 2017 already neural gadgets connected, which could read brain activity via brain-computer interface based on EEG readings. And they expected that direct connection of brains and computers will gradually replace the use of keyboards, mouses, and voice instruction. Scientists from the University of California in 2018 developed a device which can collect the people's brainwaves, analyze them to find among them vowels and consonants, and then put people's thoughts on display. A paralyzed man could in this way type without using the keyboard. The accuracy of this device in 2018 was 90%. And the scientists believed that within the next 5 years, they will develop a smartphone to which this device could be connected. Of course, it would display hidden thoughts as well. To transmit thoughts into the brain, you only need to transmit the electrical signals in the frequencies of the activity of targeted neurons, which will absorb this energy, and thus the new neuronal activity produced from outside will appear in the brain. In this way, human emotions, thoughts, and decisions can be produced from the outside. In August 2020, Raphael Yuste, the scientist who collected the signatures for the article in the magazine Nature, told a journalist from the New York Times that once the manipulation goes directly into the brain, you will not be able to tell you are being manipulated. Italian scientists in 2013 interconnected 2 brains of volunteers via electrodes and internet, and they achieved extrasensorial communication among several pairs of them. When their brain frequencies synchronized, depending on sound stimuli perceived by only one of them. The scientists believe that in the future it will be possible to connect 2 brains with the use of the quantum physics principle of non-local electron and photon connection. Brain-to-brain or mind-to-mind interaction at distance. A pilot study by Patrizio E. Tresioldi, Luciano Pederozzoli, Marco Bellucaglia, Patricio Cani, Pasquale Fedele, Alexandro Farini, Simeone Meloni, Augusto Accardo. In such a case, it would not be necessary to use any transmitter or energy passing through outside media to connect two brains, or brain and computer. Connecting his brain to the internet will become a necessity for anybody who will wish to be recognized for his intellectual activity, since without it, he will not be able to compete with others on the labor market or anywhere else. According to scientists, this submission to machines will produce the bypassing of the normal sensorial motor function of brains and bodies. The human being will no longer be in natural contact with his or her immediate environment and derive from this interaction his or her thoughts, deeds, or the like decisions. At least during the working hours, they will be losing their identity. But if there is no appropriate legislation, they will keep losing their identities even in their leisure time, as the advertising companies will easily find ways to manipulate their nervous systems and brains to make them byproducts for the marketing of which they are paid. In 2017, companies like Google, Disney, CBS, and Frito-Lay had used the services of neuromarketing companies for measurements of customer preferences and impact of their advertisement on customers. Neuromarketing companies, MSense, Neurosense, MindLab International, and Nielsen regularly use techniques of nervous activity to analysis and to analyze and predict the customer's behavior and even to influence it. Should neuromarketing companies be allowed to manipulate the minds of customers, the governments are using it to convince their citizens about the usefulness of their agenda. Of course, these projects will reflect the needs and opinions of the richest national and international corporations and bankers. If mankind will advance in this direction, it will basically accept the Chinese model of the governing of society and inevitably will abandon democracy forever. Since it will be governed by principles that someone will download on the internet, it is a question of how much the loss of identity caused in this way will cause people serious psychological problems, resulting in rebellions and, in case of their imminent failures, to suicide. That's something we've seen a lot, or too much of, in the community. And it's something that we must stop. We must recognize the signs of a fellow target when he is in trouble, when he's backed into a corner with no one to talk to. That's why I would like everyone to follow and join a phone-in group to check on each other every day so that we know that our fellow TIs are in fact okay. There is no doubt that the governments should start to solve these issues in the nearest possible future. But it is good to note that the same effects as by sending electrical currents into the brain can be achieved by transmission of microwaves pulsed in brain frequencies or extra long electromagnetic waves in brain frequencies. This would be the scalar wave, the extra long wave. This can be done by any other energy devised by quantum physics transmitted into the brain, which will be converted there into electrical currents in brain frequencies. These technologies were developed by Russian and American scientists since the 50s. Last news about the work of those researchers was published in 1975 by accident. Ron Justerson wrote in The American Psychologist that Joseph Sharp was transmitting by means of pulsed microwaves into his brain words that he could understand. In 2007, the Washington Post wrote, in response to a Freedom of Information Act request filed for this article, the Air Force released unclassified documents concerning a patent for microwave transmission of sound into the brain, and that those documents contained records that note that the patent was based on human experimentation in October 1994 at the Air Force lab, where scientists were able to transmit phrases into the heads of human subjects. In this case, with marginal intelligibility, research appeared to continue at least through 2002. If those transmitted phrases were converted into ultrasound, people would not hear them, and for that matter would not, but the brain would accept them. And in this way, they would become the thoughts of the targeted individual. In 2020, the American Academy of Sciences wrote in the report on attacks on American diplomats in Cuba, relatively in China. The most probable cause of their problems were pulsed microwaves. In October 2020, the CIA employees complained that they were targets of the same attacks in Australia. Russian politician Vladimir Lopatin, who at the time and at the turn of the millennium strived for the worldwide ban of those weapons. He wrote a book, Psychotronic War and the Security of Russia, where he wrote that psychotronic war is actually taking place without declaration of war. In other words, those technologies are already being used at the present time. But due to their classification, people cannot demand their ban. In case they were used globally in the contest to gain control of the whole world, mankind, it would most probably provoke a world war with the use of nuclear weapons, which would result in the destruction of civilization and the extinction of mankind. In 2018, at the World Economic Forum in Davos, where every year world politicians and managers of international corporations meet, an Israeli historian, Yuval Noah Harari, warned in his speech against the rise of new totality based on the access to the human brain. He said, once we have algorithms that can understand you better than you understand yourself, they could predict your desires, manipulate your feelings, and even take decisions on your behalf. And if we are not careful, the outcome can be the rise of digital dictatorships. In the 21st century, we may be enslaved under digital dictatorships. The founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, wrote a book, Shaping the Future of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, where he said that looming technological changes will allow governments to intrude into the personal, private space of our minds, reading our thoughts and influencing our behavior. Since Klaus Schwab is the founder of the World Economic Forum, it is evident that his ideas are widely discussed among top world entrepreneurs and politicians. At the present time, there exists no legislations banning the use of mind control technologies. And for that matter, scientists feel free to work on the development of nanobots, nanoparticles, nanotubes, which can penetrate the blood-brain barrier and connect the brain to the internet, where it could covertly collect information without being detected. Professor of Mechanical Engineering at the University in San Diego, James Friend, believed in 2017 that effective use of nanobots could start in 2 to 5 years. In 2018, James Giordano, working for the American Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, said in a lecture for military cadets that several weeks ago, his agency succeeded in producing nanoparticles which can be aerosolized and when breathed in will penetrate again the blood-brain barrier and control its activity. Since the world media do not inform the populations in their countries about the growing danger that people will be deprived of their freedom of thought. It is obvious that the governments are at least hesitating whether they prefer this kind of future. One way to remind them that people care about their freedom of thought would be to form new parties or movements, or at least Facebook groups, whose goal would be to defend the freedom of thought of people, to guarantee the freedom of human thinking. To do this, it is necessary to enact legislation which would ban using harsh sentences the transmission in the air or into the brain of any energy in frequencies corresponding to frequencies of the activity of the human brain. Just want to stop and see if we have any questions here. 0 questions. The only way to connect the human brain to the internet or other communication could be by voluntary decision of a person to connect to them with a cable. The governments will have to provide for detection of banned transmissions and search for their sources. It must be established in the legislation that the representatives of human rights organizations will participate in the detection of those transmissions. Governments should also establish teams with the participation of representatives of human rights organizations capable of verifying the claims of their citizens. Their exposure to energetic attacks at their nervous systems or bodies. In the international politics, the governments should work toward the international agreement banning manipulation of human minds or causing harm to bodies of citizens of foreign states by means of energies corresponding to frequencies of the activity of the human brain or body. It would also be useful if they made an effort to replace in the world politics the struggle for power by politics of good practices. Okay, that concludes that work, and I'm going to end the Q&A, and we will open up the floor. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, stay right here, okay, sweetie? So, I mean, yeah.
Okay, the floor is open. Hit *6 if you have a phone. If you have a computer, you know what to do. Yeah, when you come out of Q&A, everybody is unmuted automatically, so we get a lot of noise coming through. But at this point in time, it is 9:38. We have 51 listeners. Good evening, Alabama. Would you like to comment or tell your story?
Hey, Frank.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. That was very, very good intro you had there. I really agree with everything you said there. As far as my targeting is concerned, it's getting worse. Every time I put on headphones and listen to music, my body jerks uncontrollably. It's gotten to the point where it's they're starting to attack me in front of people. My body's starting to jerk, and I had a job interview and my body was jerking. I don't know if maybe you have some information. I think it's because I'm changing the frequencies when I'm listening to music, and I'm not really listening to my subconscious or what they're telling me. So whenever I listen to music, it's, it tunes them out. So therefore, the only way I can pay attention to them is if they attack my body and make it jerk.
Wow.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
They don't want to see you work. That's their first and foremost thing to do. They would like to see you in poverty. They would like to see you on the street. They would like to see you in a mental unit.
Right. You're exactly right. The thing with the change, now I have noticed if you change the frequencies, if you change different music, different genres, it does help. But if you listen for too long, they will attack your body, or they attack mine at least, with the jerking and the head going up and everything else, especially with the jaws and the tongue. But yeah, it's been rough for me, Frank. It's been rough. I meant to call you yesterday just to talk to you, but did you say that there's a phone line we can call to check in every day?
No, I didn't. Anybody who wants to can check with me every day. But what I did say was that I would like everyone to form a phone group, or as they said back in the 50s and 60s, a phone tree. And someone on there would be responsible to call someone else, and that person in turn would call another, and so on. But it is something that we need to do to ensure the health of all of the targets, because I need somebody to talk to, and it's a great thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. They've amped up the "Go Kill Yourself" messages to me. I think it's hive mind. I believe it's brain-to-brain interface. Because some things I think about that I can hear them say, well, I don't want to think about that. Changes the way he's thinking, changing to something else. They didn't think about this, and I'll think something, or and then they don't want. I think it's brain to brain. To be honest with you, I think unfortunately targeted individuals are the hosts of that, and they just get all the abuse from it. But I believe hive mind is what we're going through right now. I think it is brain to brain interface.
I can see how you would think that.
Yeah.
The perpetrators would like you to think that. It is not my view, and I will tell you why. They are running a parallel between you and the information that they have logged. They can, in a split second, by what they're saying, the information they need pops up next to their screen. I have this information from the perps themselves. And any and all information concerned with what you are talking about comes up in front of them as they need it. So if that is a memory, that is what it is. But they do have the ability to make you pull up things by way of pictorial type things that you may have in your head. A picture of a lake that you grew up on. Mm-hmm. A picture of a clock in your hometown. These bring back memories and pictures. Maybe they can see them, maybe they can't. But they are getting a lot of history in the way of, if nothing else, type. So I believe you. I know exactly what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But just remember, they try to create what is not. So what they do have is a parallel. You can take that to the bank. Because that's what they do. They record everything that has to do with you.
I don't know who that is. That's not me.
Now, that's Liverpool law in Spain. And that's interesting that Spain comes up because John McAfee is dead. I don't know whether you knew that, but he was killed. And then...
Brian is in Spain, isn't he?
Excuse me?
Brian, too, is in Spain right now, isn't he?
I am not sure. It's not my turn to watch him.
His email is Liverpool.
Okay, you're fading in and out, Anonymous.
I said his email is Liverpool Law. That might be him.
Liverpool Law, I believe, is his email address.
Yeah.
Okay, he just left the meeting, so that was probably him. I'm glad he left because I don't like him to be here, and I will tell you why. He wants to dominate the call with the same tape recording of himself that he has been professing to targeted audiences for years. His dialogue does not change, his rhetoric does not change. It's the same thing over and over again. And I'm not saying that he is a bad individual. I'm not saying anything about him. All I'm saying is he's repetitious and he slanders the moderators and the community leaders. He has slandered me publicly on a video by a close friend, and that close friend edited the video. And he took Ella, myself, and Dr. Matt out of that video. And that was a very nice thing that he did. If I said who it was, you would all know it in a second. But I'm not going to do that. So if he would like to come in sometime and change his subject matter just a little bit so we could start learning who Brian was. You know, all he does is immediately get into the technology, and he doesn't stop. It's like a tape. And unfortunately, some TIs are so mind-controlled that they roll this tape continually. And it's a fact, I'm sure you guys have heard it before. But he's a good guy. He's just got to get his act together and know that the moderators give their time for nothing. They spend large amounts of money to make sure that they continue, and so on. But I would just like to say, God bless him.
Hey, Frank.
Can you go back to what happened to John McAfee? Because I thought I thought he might be targeted, but yeah. What happened? How did it happen?
He was in prison awaiting extradition to the United States for supposed income tax fraud. I disagree with that because he has been in Spain and this money was earned in euros and cryptocurrency, and I don't believe that anybody in the U.S. pays euros, but it's my feeling that it was a false accusation, but they were out to get him right from the get-go.
Yeah, the news article said it was suicide, but we probably know better than that.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
Yeah.
And I don't believe his family does. I don't believe his family does either. It's a sick, sick world that we have to live with, that we have to live in, and be targeted at the same time, and watch others die. It's not fun. He was a really great person. I bought one of his first antivirus programs, and it's my opinion that he was targeted because he put hundreds and hundreds of hackers back then out of work because he had them. He knew where they were, he knew what they were using, and he knew how to track them. And his software really has expanded. It's obviously not his anymore, but it still is some of the finest software on the market.
Yeah, I thought he was targeted, and then he went to Belize, and he was, for a while, he was down in Belize, and then they started chasing him down there. That's just the gist of what I got. And I don't know at what point he went to Spain.
Yeah, I just saw in the chat, Nancy said they finally got McAfee. And, yeah, that's really sad. It really is. Because he was for us, and he was a target. And he's been communicating with Midge for a long time in Twitter, and they've taken a lot of Twitter comments that he has made and used them against him. So, yeah, he always claimed, Nancy says, that he would never commit suicide. What's the tattoo that he has? I know that, Nancy, do you know what it is? He has a tattoo, basically, that says, the government's got me. Oh, I know what it is. Whacked. That is the tattoo that he's got on himself.
It looked like he had a pretty good life in Belize for a while. It was a biography.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And I would like to comment and say congratulations to our new married couple, Bill Binney and Mrs. Catherine Binney. In case people haven't heard, Catherine Horton and William Binney got married.
Really? Huh.
Yep, they did.
Wow. Now, is he out in Europe? Or did she come?
No, I really don't know that. There is a fresh video that Catherine has put out. I'm not sure whether it's on her website. I will check right now.
Yeah, they're both at his home in the U.S., wherever that is. I can't remember. They said on the video, but I can't remember.
Maybe Maryland.
And I wrote in the comments section, I think they make a great team.
Yep. The brand new video is on Catherine's channel. So it's right there.
Well, what's sad about McAfee is, here's a guy who knew technology. He knew how to get around it. And he probably had good money from selling that program. And he still couldn't save himself. Like, that's kind of depressing.
He might have been. They might not have liked his collaborations. He was doing consulting. When you do consulting, there is no competition. There is no liking one company or not liking the other company, if you know what I'm trying to get at. He might have been doing work for a Russian company. You never can tell. He was a maverick, so,
Yeah. Yeah, that's just sad to me.
Yeah, it sure is. I put the YouTube, Catherine's latest. It's Bill Binney and Catherine together, and that's where they announce it.
But they're both targeted, so I wonder how that's going to work out.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I'd like to add, if anybody, I found a page that's really good for targeted individuals. There's a lot of frequencies that you can use on your headphones. If anybody wants to look me up on Facebook and message me, I'll be happy to send it to them. It's like 7 different frequencies that you can do. In my case, I have a frequency. It's 350 hertz. You can pretty much hear the B2K coming through when you listen to it. You can give out my name, Frank, if you want to. It's Lance Johnson. And if you want to add me on Facebook, I'll be happy to. It's a well-put-together page for targeted individuals and mind control as far as frequencies and videos that you can watch and breathing as well, techniques.
Lance, you've joined Targeted Massachusetts on Facebook, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're on Twitter too. You should follow us there.
Okay. And if anybody wants to know, I'll post that link on your page if that's okay.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, I will do that here shortly. So, anybody who needs help, that does help, especially if you have a good set of headphones.
Okay, if you have a computer, why don't you hop on with your computer, and you can post your links in the chat right here.
Okay, yeah, just give me a second. I'll go ahead and get on that.
All right, great. Yeah, Lance is, for those of you who don't know him, he is a really good guy. He has been working as a corrections officer, and he is supposed to be going to school to be a police officer, and he would be a good guy to have in our corner. He already is. He's a really good guy. Hi, Lily. Hello, Alabama. You're up in the active area again. Would you like to speak?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Frank. It's Lily. I'm sorry, it took me a minute.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. How are you guys tonight?
Good. Doing just fine.
Yeah. Strange 48 hours in the world of the community of targeted individuals, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a really strange 48 hours between Catherine Horton and happy for them, huh?
Yeah. I just wanted to add, if you'd like to listen to Lily and any of Targeted Massachusetts podcasts, you can go to targetedmassachusetts.org, and on the left side, up at the top, you'll see TMNEC. That's Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference. You click on that, that takes you to a news feed, and all of our conferences are right there. Unless one goes really downhill, it will be there. Lily knows what I mean by things going downhill, don't you, Lily?
No, well, I'm not sure. Depends. But yeah, I mean, it's been a really interesting, it's in 1 minute, I'm like, well, that's a nice little surprise that, Bill Binney and Catherine Horton have teamed up, and I hope they take very good care of each other. Everybody needs that TLC, and most importantly, we all do. If anybody in the world needs TLC, it's us. So I'm very happy whenever anybody is brave enough to give that a go. So yay for them, and then boo for what happened to McAfee. So it's very sad. It's an awful world that we're living in right now. And yes, he admitted to be. I'm pretty sure Ella interviewed him, and he suspected he was targeted. Or actually say, I can't recall. I can't say he was for sure, but I thought he suspected it or he knew of it. So that's for sure.
There is a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not hearing about, and it seems like every 3 or 4 days we get hit with a bomb of good, and that's what I expect to see here within the next, I don't know, by Friday. And hopefully that will.
Do you have some good stuff coming?
Well, I think there's some good stuff coming down the pike, but a few of us knew that they were possibly going to get married, but it's something that we couldn't share because if we were incorrect, we would hear flack everywhere. So we had to keep it to ourselves.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I think it's lovely, and
yeah.
Yeah, they had posted. She posted a new video on YouTube, so that's where they made the announcement, and they went into depth about them both suffering with targeting. So, with actually being, the weapons assaulted with the weapons, which is really, really sad. So they're both in a lot of pain, a lot, and they're very tired a lot. So they're very good at being descriptive about what they're experiencing.
Right. In his legs, he's an amputee, a double amputee. So they are really attacking him in the areas of his amputation. And they have gotten some various studies, and these studies have revealed that there are actually implants there. And I guess anytime there's an implant, there's a calcification that forms around it to try and shunt it, because your body immediately knows that it is not good. So I'm getting another sinuplasty, which is a sinus operation. I got it back in 2008, the first one, and it was a shyster. And I went to see him about it, and I left and I went down to the police station in his town to report him. And I walked in the door and they said, "Are you Frank Allen?" And I said, "Yes, I am." "Oh, well, your doctor's on the floor." And I said, "Good, let's have a chat." And that's as far as I can actually go with that. But he was a shyster, and I think if anybody planted anything in my sinuses, it was him, because he didn't even want to look at me, he didn't want to talk to me, and he eventually called the police on me. So, it's a good thing I went down to the police station, because I had my intuition, if you will, tell me that he was going to do that. So, this time, Boston or Massachusetts Eye are the people that are going to do the operation. Now, I went into this building thinking that I was going to see Mass Eye and Ear. But in fact, this shyster is on the first floor, and I walked in and I said, "I'd like to make an appointment for the operation. Is this Mass Eye and Ear?" "Oh, yeah, no problem, just sit down." I don't know. I'm not even going to go any further with that either, but Mass Eye and Ear is one floor up, and they were relatively new at the time. So, like I said, I'm not going to mention this guy's name, but he's got the same name as the UFO couple, the famous UFO couple. So anyway, that's my story on that, and I have another operation coming up very shortly. I have the pre-op to go through, I guess, here on the 8th. So this time I'll be seeing the right doctor at least. Okay, I guess we lost Lily somewhere. Maybe she fell off. Hi, Oceanside. How you doing?
I do want to say my partner has a resonance device in his tooth, and my dentist doesn't want to take it out for a bit. So,
well, he should definitely do that. Hi, Trent.
Oh, hello.
How you doing, sir?
Just made a fish boil.
Yeah.
Yeah, potatoes, carrots, celery, cod. Smells good. I don't know. I listen to you guys too, though, because I believe I'm, of course, getting, penetrated by these invisible, no-touch torture things or whatever you want to call them. So, yeah. But, I don't know what to say. It's just, I just love waking up at 3 in the morning and you can't go back to sleep kind of stuff. It always goes over real good. I don't know if anybody else has this kind of issues.
Oh, yeah. Once you wake up, you might take a sleeping pill or something to get you to sleep after being up for a day or two. And then once you wake up, say you have to use the bathroom, they don't want to let you go back to sleep. And then you're up again for the duration. We'll say it's 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. You're up. You're not going to sleep.
I know. Sometimes I can, because I've caught on to it, like you said, I can try to just stay dozy, fully wake up, because the minute you do, like you said, I think they try to kick in you got that autonomic system, sympathetic, parasympathetic thing going on, and the sympathetic is like your fight or flight. Your parasympathetic is where after you've fight or flight it, you got to calm down, and then that'll calm your system down and put you back to a nice state. But yeah, if you stay in that state and you don't get into that other one that they're trying to force you by waking up, because once you're in that, it just seems like you can't go back to the other one for some reason. I don't know why. But I know I've tried those natural things like, melatonin, tryptophan, or 5-HTP, which basically helps your body make its own serotonin.
I can give you one that is melatonin, and actually another plant, and it's over the counter. It's in no way a medication. It's called Olly, Olly, Sleep. It's available at CVS pharmacies.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many other pharmacies it's available at, but you can get a small container or a large container, or, basically whatever you like. But it works. That's the bottom line. It works.
Oh, I like it works. That one I'm writing down because I got a CVS and I actually go to it to get my prescriptions, so I might just check that out.
Just ask them where it is. And it does have, I believe, 10 milligrams of melatonin in it. And it's important that you have a dark room. Melatonin, when it's going to work, needs a dark room because your brain is registering that it is dark and it's time to sleep. And that's when melatonin, your natural melatonin, is released. So it's important that you try and pick the same time every night if you can. It's just getting back to your habits. That's something that the perps will just have to deal with. But sleep at the same time is always good.
Have you been able to? They haven't had some nights where they just kept you awake no matter what, or have you been able to basically? Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I will tell you how that's done. They raise your heartbeat probably just a couple of beats a minute, just above the rate necessary for you to fall asleep. Or they just talk you to death, and you can get through that with all your sleep.
Okay.
I have to fill my coffee cup. Maybe either Oceanside or Lily can speak for a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. Yep.
Well, between my synthetic dreams, I have to talk to them when I'm going to the bathroom, and like Frank said, it's when you're in the twilight mode, and I'm getting the same effect, and so is someone in the chat room. Anyway, Lily Bell, are you there? Hello?
Nope. Yeah, I caught on what he mentioned about raising your heart rate, but I read an article that your breathing, which seems to go up too. I've caught something. If you can, like when you exhale, it puts you more into the sleep mode, and when you inhale, it puts you more into the wake mode, I guess, or kick-in mode, or whatever you want to call it.
That's right.
And I tried things like, hello?
I was just saying hi to Chris and to you, Trent. My name's Lily. I work with Frank on Monday nights. I was just going to make a suggestion to you. One of the things that might be happening, any TI that is struggling with sleep deprivation, already is challenged because of the technology to need extra of what you naturally have in your bodies, right? So you really need electrolytes. So one of the things that's essential that you should look into is calcium, because people who have high blood pressure and who are have insomnia without being targeted usually have a calcium deficiency or dependency. So it's really important that if you're being targeted and you're getting sleep deprived, to make sure your electrolytes are balanced, especially if you have any kind of heart palpitation or energy problem too. So it's critical. It's critical because every cell in your body fires on calcium. That's how they speak to each other. It's one of the nutrients. And the microwave a lot of the technologies that are used for targeting affect the calcium ion channels. So if you're having a hard time sleeping, please look into getting supplements for a calcium, magnesium, and potassium, and then get enough sodium, natural occurring sodium too. But you definitely need calcium, magnesium, and potassium to make sure your heart and all your cells are operating correctly. And if you like avocado, everybody should eat as much avocado as you can because it's really high in potassium.
That's interesting. While I had a craving for avocados, it's like crazy, and I wonder if that's why.
Do you? Well, yeah, and they've got such good healthy fat that if you eat enough good sourced fats, your body will stop overproducing cholesterol because cholesterol is actually a hormone, and you can get it from sources that are natural, and you can get it. You produce your own. So if you overproduce cholesterol, there's a good chance you're not eating enough good fat. So good fats come in several sources: nuts, avocados, cook with olive or avocado oil, coconut oil. You can use coconut oil, but there's a lot of backlash about coconut. So, if you don't want to worry about it, just use olive and avocado, though. So, and butter,
I like ghee butter.
Yeah, definitely.
White noise. If you find anything that plays white noise or light sounds of rain or something like that calms you down, that calms your brainwave activity down, that helps too as well.
Oh, okay. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. Lance, I heard you earlier talk about Facebook or something. I was the one who posted and looking for your Facebook link because I just went on and I couldn't. There's 150 Lance Johnsons, I don't know which one you are.
I'm I tell you what, I'll post on Target in Massachusetts that link, and then from there, if you want to, you can just add me from there.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, I have to correct myself here. Stay away from CVS because, oh, wait a minute. All right, I was incorrect. Go ahead to CVS. I just went to Amazon to look at it, and it's very expensive there. But the active plant that I was speaking of is L-theanine, T-H-E-A-N-I-N-E.
Okay.
And it has chamomile and lemon also.
Okay.
And this particular one that I'm looking at is 6 milligrams of melatonin. But what I'm used to is 10.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I stand corrected. Go to CVS. Woo, some high prices. They have Ollie Sleep, they have Ollie Beauty, and Ollie Go-Getter. This is probably, Daily Energy. That's probably got a lot of vitamin C in it, I hope.
C is good.
Yeah. For that, I use Emergen-C. I've been doing it for like almost 30 years now, since it first came out. Yeah.
What? I got like a doctor. She's retired, but she was a medical doctor, but more in the naturopath. I actually haven't taken it much for myself because it's expensive, but she said the only C that's not a synthetic C that she knows of is called like Perk-C. It's like P-E-R-Q-U-E, Perk-C. And I think it comes in a powder and a pill form, but I think she recommended more of the powder. And I did try the pill. It didn't seem to have the kick like there was a powder form.
I would try this Emergen-C, though. I swear by it, and I don't care if the C is synthetic, but it kicks butt.
Okay.
And it does a lot of other things that you'll appreciate, too.
Oh, I suppose. Thanks.
No, it's really great.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of it. I know what I'll write that down. Because I know I'd say other stuff's expensive. Emergen-C.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I know minerals are like important. That I know.
Yeah.
I try to eat healthy. I swear I don't know what it is, but sometimes I swear I get like these really humongous like cravings for carbs and stuff, and it's always just before I want to go to bed for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that, but I do know you don't want to get too much sugar in your system before you go to sleep, because if they do manage to kick in your fight-flight system, your body likes to shoot sugar into your system because you're ready to run or fight something, and it's trying to drive up that energy. Right. So I often wonder why I'm getting like these cravings for sugars before I go to bed, and all of a sudden you wake up at 3 and you can't sleep. I think part of that could be part of that, but you can't prove anything.
Actually, if you have a good meal, you'll find that you want to sleep. So if they're trying to get you to take any kind of meal, like late at night or early in the morning, they're trying to get you to sleep for some reason. So I don't know. That's the way it looks to me.
Uh-oh. The only thing I can say is like, it seems to me like, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I swear it feels like you got like a UV light hitting you. I don't know if anybody's ever had that, but or sunlight, but it's like in your room and all the lights are out.
You up. I've been sitting. You'll probably do it now, but I've been sitting in this chair, okay, and I've been so damn physically hot that I had to like turn the air up or open windows. But it's nice if there's like any kind of heat in the room. It seems like they work with it. Which is incorrect, actually, but they definitely heat you up and suggest to you possibly that you are getting warm.
Oh.
Suggestions,
yeah, I know.
Hypnotic suggestions are part of this program, and you don't hear them because they're subliminal. So anytime you feel like you're getting warm or anytime you feel like something isn't right, it's probably a suggestion that they have made. And they do it, from my understanding, there are 2 microphones. One you hear, which is the V2K. The other one is subliminal.
Wow.
And my only other thought is they might be using some kind of brain interface, sort of like the new games that are out.
Okay.
But
I've heard.
Go ahead, sir.
I heard of course, I read tons of stuff, all over the internet. And I thought I caught something where they were saying that sometimes when you get these thoughts, it's possible that they can actually, because when you're reading or you're thinking a thought, you're thinking it, how would you say? Like probably in your own voice, I guess. And they're saying somehow they can duplicate that and send it to you to make it think that it's you coming up with this thought. If the technology is there, that's what they were trying to explain with this technology, what they can do. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I tell you what makes me mad is whenever I change my inner voice, I try to think of my inner voice in something like Samuel L. Jackson or something like that. It kind of throws off their little program. If you want to change your inner voice, just think of your inner voice as somebody else's. It throws off the program. That really takes them off.
I kind of like that idea.
And also try, I think it's called Gaelic. It's whenever you read, instead of reading like you normally read backwards, and that throws off the programming as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've done that too. They do not like that.
No, they do not.
They don't.
Wow. Okay.
Not read backwards the whole time you read. Just do a couple of sentences, and you can tell there'll be a shift in energy. And me, I can see it in my eyes. My eyes start fluttering whenever I do it.
Oh, good. Then it isn't quite perfected yet.
No.
Yeah, I know. It drives you nuts. One thing I often question is I remember not that long ago, maybe in April-ish, I think Ella interviewed this guy named Isaac, and he was supposedly going to rent one of these spectrometers and then go to these areas that were highly affected by these units and try to, I guess, somewhat triangulate and find the right frequencies and triangulate where they are or where they're coming from. I don't know if anybody's heard any updates with that guy about if he's made any progress on any of that stuff yet.
I don't know if he has, but I do know that Raytheon has came out with a device for the soldiers to tell if their thoughts are being read or if they're being microwaved, and they can triangulate it as well. But that's for the military. I've done some research on that. Raytheon does have something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, something's got to come out.
I hope so. Lord willing.
Yeah, I just cannot. What kills me is this. who's ever running these, one is, do you think if they can target us with this machine that they're using, and supposedly there's no way of stopping these rays, right? There's really nothing you can do. Well, what's to say if one of these guys would defect and they got one of these units that they could pretty much protect themselves against these other ones, because, you know, if they would aim it at them, they can't protect themselves from it either, basically. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I just pray nobody's ever come forward and said, hey, this machine, this technology, this is doing this stuff, you know, and maybe they can somewhat protect themselves from being the target because they got the machine themselves, you know. I don't know, you know.
Right. The closest thing we got to a whistleblower is Robert Duncan. He worked on the technology for the CIA. But I think you hit it right on the head there. If somebody were to come forward, they would be targeted themselves, and I believe that's why we haven't had confirmed a good whistleblower yet, other than Snowden with NSA, but he didn't really elaborate on it too much.
No. Maybe they realize that this, I got a feeling that this technology is all over the world, and it's like if you come forward, you're done. And I think they know it, you know, and that's why nobody's come forward, because it's like, I don't think they're involved. And then, of course, they go after him for sure, whoever did. I know, I think that's why it's really hard to get anything done, because anybody that, even the Senate or anything that tries to push this through could so easily be a target, and maybe they know that. You know, I mean, it would almost like scare everybody into submission in a sense, you know. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. That's my thought on it. Because, you know, they go try to push 5G now, too. I'm going to my friend, they says, yeah, wait till 5G gets through, man. They're going to control the whole planet. They'll be able to come on TV one day and say, we have control of you, and don't try to resist.
Right.
You know? Yeah, you know, I swear. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope not.
Well, they're already in the talks about 6G, too. I was thinking that the other day.
What's that?
They're already in the talks about having 6G in the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah. 6G on top of that? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you always wonder, why are they pushing it so hard? You know, every community's got to have it. No laws can stop them. They can just push their way right in, you know. Why are they pushing so hard? Why is it such a big deal? I mean, you got your cell phones and all that, you know, and you can kind of sort of, but, you know, kind of sort of slow them down, but it seems like this 5G, this is like, nope, we're putting it in. It was too bad, so sad, you know. Makes you wonder. I don't know.
That's another thing I want to reiterate with cell phones. If you have a kid, daughter, son, whatever, or even yourself, you might want to leave your cell phone, whenever you take a shower or bath or something, you might want to leave your cell phones out of the bathroom or something, because people can go into those cell phones and I mean, they can see through their eyes, they can see through your cell phone. Or at least put tape over the camera. If you have any kids or if you don't want to be seen yourself, it'd be a good idea to put tape over it.
Yeah, I know. I've been putting tape on ever since I watched that movie on Snowden. Everything's been taped.
Yeah.
You know, I know. I'm glad I watched that. You know, it's like when you've seen even what they can do on that movie, which has really nothing to do with the microwave stuff, and you're going like, what they already can do is scary. Yeah, I know. I mean, I grew up in the 60s. Maybe the stuff was around then, too. I don't know, but I remember even like in the 70s, I mean, we had stayed up north, and my dad had worked at a state park for a while, you know, cutting lawns, and there was a guy there that claimed that he was getting hit with microwaves. He was wearing some kind of a hat, you know, and my parents always say, yeah, that guy over there, he's a little goofy, you know, he says he's getting attacked by microwaves or something like that, and he'd have some kind of hat on, and all this stuff. We thought the guy was nuts, Now you're going back and looking at it, and you're thinking, maybe that guy wasn't nuts. Maybe he really was. You know what I mean? So that could have been.
I want to tell everybody, don't go out and waste money on hats or Faraday cages. If it makes you feel better, go ahead and do it. But as far as the technology goes, there's nothing that you can wear or put on that's gonna block it out.
No.
I haven't.
Now you can listen to certain things like frequencies. That will help. But as far as buying something to put on your house or acrylic paint, that stuff doesn't work. I've tried it all, except for the acrylic paint. But
well, I tried all sorts of things too. I got kind of an electronics background. I even tried making, like microwave antennas and spacing them millimeters apart, and trying to think maybe it'll catch the wave. I'd wake up one night and the thing's hitting me, and I'd be putting this antenna everywhere in every direction. It just didn't seem to do a damn thing, I was like, okay, so much for that idea, I know I was sleeping under sheets and stuff, and that didn't work. It just I don't know. I tried grounding myself. I don't know. That didn't work.
You know what I would try right now, just to help everyone, is just get rid of your Wi-Fi, okay, and get a cable modem. Your cable provider will not have it. But before Wi-Fi, we all had cable modems, and they were great. They're faster than Wi-Fi for your computer. Unfortunately, it's going to limit you when you have a tablet. You're going to have to come up with a hotspot for your tablet, unless there's some way you can. It has a way of plugging network interface cable in. It's just a NIC cable. Everybody knows what they are, I think. But change your whole house to cable. It helps.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I tried turning the Wi-Fi off at night too, and I slept. I had it on a timer, but then all of a sudden it would never connect. Like the next day, I tried 3 hours to connect it again. I was like, it shouldn't be doing this, and I'm thinking, yeah, they're trying to make it so you can't do that. You know what I mean? I know I was trying to do that with the Wi-Fi. But yours is a better idea. But I'm just saying as an example. I tried that too, and then they had trouble connecting, and then now I leave it on, but I thought of that already too, and it's like I got a smart meter in the corner of my living room outside, for the power meter, and I've heard those things can cause havoc too, somehow. So yeah, no, it's interesting, and yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I tried everything. Sometimes they're attacking you, and I'll just try to ignore it, and they'll just make it worse and worse and worse, and I don't know. It's so stupid. I don't know what.
That's what they're best at.
Yeah, I know, annoying you, literally. Yeah. Well, I had a threat thrown at me before this all started, and basically said that they said something to the effect that you might go crazy, and who knows, you might even get Parkinson's like symptoms. That was the threat that was thrown at me, and I thought, I couldn't figure out what they meant.
Right. If you can not draw water, it would be good, because that comes right through your phone.
What's that?
Water. Drawing water?
Let me turn up the volume a little bit. I couldn't quite make out what you were saying.
Drawing water.
Oh, water?
Water? Yeah, you had a water sound in the background?
Oh, I was on the sink. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah. Anything you do comes through.
Oops. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to. I know, I was just.
Everybody.
Oh, so you couldn't hear what I was saying?
Well, your phone is right near your mouth, so that gets first priority.
Okay.
The background made it so that you were garbled.
Whoops. Oh, I got you. All right. Yeah. I'd say. I'm just trying to get some stuff out of the way. I do that. My friends get mad at me too, and then they go, I can't hear you. I don't know. I try to make efficient. Well, let's put it this way. I get days where I don't feel so good, and I get days where I feel good. And even sometimes if I wake up and I can't sleep, I try to make use of my time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you realize you can't sleep, and then I'll just go like, well, okay, I'll go do the dishes, or I'll, you know, maybe I'll read a book, or, you know, something, you know, and hopefully and eventually maybe I'll get tired again where I can sleep again, you know, and, or, you know, then I get days where I got so much energy, I don't know where it's coming from, and then other days I just like so wiped out, like you can't do a damn thing, you know, and then I really got to try to push myself. So, I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with sleep, like you said. Maybe I will check into those ones you recommended, you know, because, yeah, I know. You know, the thing is, you know, they do that to you at night, and the next day you're pretty much same, you know what I mean? So, you just go like, well, maybe there's something going on and that you're getting worse, but you get a lot worse if you don't get any sleep either. And they're doing it to you whether you're awake or you sleep anyway, it seems like. So, I don't know. That's my thinking on it.
Hey, Lance, how you doing?
Yeah.
Well, Lance is up there. I just want to know if he wanted to say anything.
No, I'm just listening. I was just sitting here thinking about what are your guys' coping mechanisms when it comes to whenever you get your anxiety level up. I know mine's exercise and meditation, but they don't let me meditate anymore. I was just wondering interested to see what yours is, Frank, or whoever.
What I tell everyone is jump in the shower. Stay there for an hour. Cool water.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, water helps. I have to admit that. It does.
Yeah, you can do that, and I'll tell you why. Feel the water. You're going to put on real cool water. Feel the water coming off your head. It's like hot. Believe me, try it.
Okay. That weird. Oh, because it's not. Okay, it's that they're trying to. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I've done that in the past where I turned it real cold, and it's like I'd be standing there like, wow, this is cold, and I can take it. And like I couldn't figure it out, you know, because
Yeah.
And then I turn it up hot again. I was maybe trying to like those things like you do the polar bear thing, you know, like the cold hot water trick, you know, or whatever, you know. And it's just like it didn't seem to bother me, and I was like, oh, this is strange, you know.
You shouldn't do it suddenly. We have the L Street Brownies in Boston, and every year they come out in the middle of the winter and, you know, dodge the ice and snow and jump in the water.
Yeah, I like Michigan. That's where I am. They love to do that. You won't catch me doing that. It's cold.
No.
I mean, sometimes these guys, it's like 20 degrees. I mean, they only do it for a few seconds, though. I mean, they're just like in their swimsuit, and they run in there, and they're like coming out as fast as they went in. But they do it, you know. Well, you know, it's always on TV, you know, they just put it on the news and everything, too. You know. But I know I always thought of doing it when I was younger, but I just never could quite. I don't know, just, you know what I mean? Just something says, there's something better I could do today. Yeah, as far as coping, like, I know sometimes I feel like I'm getting that brain squeeze stuff and all that too. I know that maybe it's my imagination, but sometimes, I mean, I sometimes keep like, it only helps to a point though. I mean, like Hall's mental limpness or something, I'll suck on that. And sometimes if you can feel it coming on, I'll take one real quick, you know. before it hits, and you can kind of get it up there, I don't know how good it would help anybody else. Maybe they're just letting me think it's working. I don't know. I mean, that's one thing I noticed sometimes. Sometimes I'll just chew like a quarter of a pill so you don't have to suck the whole thing, Otherwise, just eating, sucking on hulls all day. I don't think that's good for you either, but that was one trick I think I learned. But
they have a way of, it seems to be with TIs, and that's drying out their throats. I don't know what it is. They like you to have your mouth open, and I'll tell you why. It's a close way to get at your brain.
Oh.
If you're lying down with your mouth open and your eyes are shut, so that provides some protection. The eyes are the best way to your brain. But if your mouth's open, it's not bad. Probably.
Okay. Yeah, I know I've had it when it first started, like you felt like you're getting like dust in your eyes or something, or something weird, I've had that. I tried all sorts of stuff. I mean, I even tried like buying brass, like you put on your cap, your pipe, like those brass pipe caps, and I try to like put those over my eyes at night, thinking maybe that'll stop them, and I think it slows them down, but they get through. And all of a sudden you wake up and your eyes are getting like, But lately I've been okay with that. It just seems like, whether it's my imagination or it's happening, I feel like you'll be walking along, and all of a sudden you're getting like zapped, like a real strong like spark sensation, I guess you could say. That kind of stuff. Or God, I don't know what else. I mean, it's like all day. It's just, I mean, now I've looked up like how like your radar works, and they use like kind of three signals. I mean, there's like one that's got like a chirping kind of a signal. There's another one that's like an oscillator, and it seems like sometimes that's what it sounds like when I, get like with that maybe V2 key or whatever you want to call that stuff. It sounds just like, just take any, simple generic like YouTube video how radar works, or just even Google it once and just see how it works. And I think a lot of these systems are pretty close to how, like radar, what they're doing, because radar basically uses microwaves. And I don't know if that sounds familiar to you, something like that?
Yeah, I just read a piece at the beginning of the call, and they were actually discussing that same thing.
No kidding. Yeah, because I mean, I caught this like a couple of weeks ago, because I was just trying to figure out how it thinks or how it works. I mean, I try to write on notes on paper, like, electronically, some way of jamming the signal or something stupid, but I have no really ability. I don't have any equipment. I mean, sometimes I get so frustrated. I just want to take a course in radar, in some school, so you can, I don't know if that sounds crazy, but probably wouldn't help anyway, because it's probably in the frequency ranges that their equipment wouldn't be able to handle anyway. But I'll tell you, it's so frustrating. That's why I wish that Isaac guy would come up with some, figures with his spectrometer, because if he makes that breakthrough, that's going to be gold for all of us. Let's put it that way. That'll be, that's why I get excited when I heard about him doing this, and he sounded like he'd have to rent that unit for what was it, $6,000 or $7,000 for the month, where the buying it was like $100,000 or something. And I know. Does anybody have like a direct line to that guy or anything, or some way you can kind of like email him or say, hey guy, how's it going? Are you getting anywhere? I mean, does anybody know anything about this guy?
Who are you speaking of?
Oh, his name was Isaac, and he didn't really give a last name, but he was Ella interviewed him back in April.
Oh, I know him.
And and he had mentioned about like trying to use the spectrometer to figure out what frequencies that these signals are being sent at, and then maybe finding like hot areas, or maybe a bunch of people, like maybe you and where were you from? I forget where you guys located. Your seems to be you might have a hot spot over by you, or he might come over by you if there's a bunch of people on your show saying, yeah, I'm getting it. And he might come over there and say, okay, I'm going to bring my device over here and see if I can figure out these frequencies and where this thing is located that's sending them, because...
Well, a spectrum analyzer is something that the community needs, and I am currently putting aside funds to get one. So that's where we are.
Okay, so that's just taking time. Yeah, because that's a lot of money.
The reason that spectrometers are so expensive is because the one that we need goes down to like 0.3 hertz and up. Okay, because we need to see where these frequencies come together. And if they are using, in fact, scalar waves, okay, there's not a damn thing we can do about them. We might be able to jam them up. But we need to learn more about scalar waves, okay, because a scalar wave can pass through you, the wall, your foundation, the earth, and keep on going. So a scalar wave, the point I was trying to make, that's a very long wave. Okay, they mentioned a long wave.
Yeah, see.
The writer and I are so.
But then these pulsed waves too on top of it yet, which is interesting.
Well, they're all going to be pulsed, guy.
All right. Well, what makes me think is like, people say like they believe that they, can, read your thoughts, and I'm thinking, well, and I kind of believe there's a possibility. I mean, MRIs, and they show like certain parts of brains, and you're thinking, and things light up, and I go, well, why couldn't they do that? And I go, well, that means that they have the ability, not only just like an MRI, to send this into your brain to scan it, but then they can also read that scan, which is basically they can read these frequencies. So, I mean, if they got the ability to do it, then you should be able to see those waves as well, too. And I'm, I mean,
a laser is. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, I'm just rambling. Now, what are you saying about a laser?
A lot of people don't understand that radio frequencies go from the very low, we'll say 0.3 hertz, and they go all the way up the spectrum to light.
Oh,
okay?
All right.
A lot of people don't understand that. They'll say, well, this radio, you'll hear it. Somebody will say, well, this is coming to you at the speed of light. Well, it is. Radio waves at the upper spectrum enter the light phase. Okay? And so in 2019, they came out with, college here in Boston came out with a laser that actually carried voices, or we carry voices right to somebody's head without any type of receiver. And so
right. It's like that, what do you call it, microwave auditory effect, right? Something like that?
No, that's the Frey effect. What I was speaking of was something brand new. It's a laser that carries.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay, that's the laser spectrum is what you're saying. Okay. I get what you're saying.
So that's something different that we have to deal with. Lasers and plasma.
Oh, great. Yeah. I don't know. I just hope I live long enough that something breaks. Correct.
You'll be around.
Oh, yeah.
You're laughing, so that's good. That's a great thing.
I believe in God, and I just think that, I don't know. Like, I'm glad you guys are around because if, before I could, I was afraid to call your things at first, to be honest with you, but now I'm glad I have because, you're getting feedback that because you're quiet and you listen to other people and what they're saying and you're going, yeah, that happened to me, yeah, that happened to me, you feel a little better. There's other people, and then they can say, like, I've had this for 20 years, and you say, okay, that's good, you're still here, so, yeah, I mean, for me, this just started, I mean, I don't even think it's even been, I don't know, I can't tell you when it started, I mean, but, I mean, within months, and,
can you give me your exact symptoms?
Huh?
Exact symptoms.
For me? Well, it's just, well, I mean, you get like, I mean, I've had it's been all over my system. I mean, I sort of like, my muscles, they can get tight, like, you're trying to walk or whatever. And that it's not your muscle. I mean, I went to some really good doctors, like when she mentioned with the minerals and all these things, I was listening, but I have been doing those things. And, and you're taking magnesium and all these things, and I had basically Lyme's disease. I did some detox things, minerals, this and that, and I turned myself around. I was really starting to feel good. And then all of a sudden this hit me. And I know I worked in a chemical plant. I've been exposed to chemicals. I know some dangerous ones that, you get a dime on your skin, in 20 minutes you better get it off because you're going to be dead. So I worked around some pretty bad stuff. And I know what that can do to you. And I'm going, like, all these symptoms I've been getting from this is not anything close to anything else that I've ever come across. The only thing I can say about it is when I was getting hit in the muscle, sometimes I could do what's called myofascial release, which basically kind of like rolling your skin.
Okay, you have muscle spasms, we'll say, or muscle twitching. What are your other symptoms?
Okay, well, a lot of it with your thinking, it wants to, like how would you say, it's just like your memory or your, when it hits you, you know what I mean, or your thinking gets kind of like not as clear as it should be. It gets more drifty, or
okay, you have two vague symptoms, so you need to come up with something a little bit more concrete.
Well, how about when you wake?
Symptom.
How about when you wake up at night? I mean, this is just a fantastic thing. I wake up, at least when it started, you're breathing, your heart rate, boom, 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 all this kind of stuff. You get like forced things, which I don't want to say. Like they force certain movements. There's certain things.
can you do me a favor? And can you email? Yeah, email me. You're right. I got a tongue. Can you email me at frank@targetedmassachusetts.org?
Okay, wait. Let me write that down because I'll forget. Okay, Frank, F-R-A-N-K. Yeah, that's right.
Targeted?
Okay, Massachusetts. How do you spell Massachusetts?
MASSACHUSETTS.
Okay.
.org. O-R-G.
.org. Okay, so you want like certain symptoms that I get from
all of them. See, you're brand new, so what I'm doing, I'll tell you straight up, myself and the forum are vetting you into the community. And this is part of into the targeted community.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you just want to verify.
No, not verify. I just want to learn more about you so that we can know what your symptoms are and get you into a group of people that call each other every day. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, I can help you too. I'm an 18-year vet on this.
Yeah. Can you, I don't know if he wants to give his phone number out. It's okay here. There's nobody that's going to bite you because everybody on here, they know that you're on here. So.
True. Oh, you mean they can see my number is what you're saying or not? I don't know. But
you'll find out if this is brand new to you. How did it actually start? Let's get this in. Why don't you text me? Actually, I'll write it down and I'll text it to Lance. Hold on a second.
How did it start? It was mostly one at night, if I remember. I mean, the only thing I remember is it started innocent more. Like one night I woke up and I felt like this. Oh, I think it was actually in my dream, and I felt this like pulling in my back. And then I woke up and I think I felt like kind of heat, And then that's when I tried to start blocking off stuff. I thought, well, maybe I can, block the windows or, put.
Let me ask you this: whenever you close your earlobes, do you hear ringing in either one of your ears?
Yeah, I do. Heck, yeah, it's there. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say too much that I don't know who's listening on that line, but I hear ringing. I mean, I can give you that much. I mean, because it could happen to anybody, but it's not the kind of ringing that I normally grew up when I was a kid hearing. I'll put it that way. So,
Yeah, that's a dead giveaway for most of us TIs. It usually starts with the ringing.
Yeah, it's just. I personally, if what I believe is what's happening is, I don't know if they're trying to cause the ringing, or if they're just, monitoring you and trying to see what's going on, and you're getting a side effect of what they're doing. Like an MRI, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to MRI you or whatever, and they're just, in order to see what's going on, maybe that's a side effect, or they're trying to just irritate you. Sometimes I think they're trying to irritate you too, but, if this is what's going on. Yeah, it's strange. I mean, all I can tell you is like, it's like for, I think Sunday I was off, and I was resting in the afternoon, and for some reason I was thinking of God, or praying to Him, about all this and saying, "Oh, let Your will be done." And all of a sudden, it got it totally stopped, all the sounds. I mean, it's just all of a sudden I heard nothing, and the room was quiet. It's okay, what's this? I mean, it's like a wall switch. It can come on just as fast, and it can quit just as quick. You know what I mean? I don't know if that happens with you guys, or it comes and it goes, or maybe the unit was down for repairs. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, in my case, it gets worse. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
In my case, it gets worse. Whenever I start thinking spiritually, it gets worse. But it won't keep my faith away from God. Or if you believe in a higher power, that's a really big deal. To give it to whichever higher power you believe in. In my case, it gets worse because it's some people. Some TIs it deals with spiritual warfare as well. It's just all it's all in an attempt to break a person down mentally and physically.
Well, I understand that. Yeah, I think that helps, because if you understand what they're trying to do, I think it makes it harder for them to do it.
It does.
Because then I just go I'm getting annoyed. This is annoying. And I'm not saying there aren't times that they really do get to you, but I know I mean, part of me wants to say okay, I read the Bible, and if you read the Bible, I don't know if you know that, was it Eric Van, what's his name, Van Denken or something like that? He wrote that book Chariots of the Gods or something like that, I think it was called. Well, he basically, if you read the Bible, and I've read the Bible because I just, I didn't read up till about a year or two. I really picked it up and read it. And all of a sudden I'm reading it, and it's you're going some of this stuff sounds like UFO kind of stuff in that Bible. I hope nobody, whatever, but, when you got these, what's his name, that had the visions and all that, is it Ezekiel or something? And, and he explains certain things that happened to him, and you're that just sounds, and even Jesus himself, going into the air, into the light, into the clouds, it's was it an abduction? Was it, I think to myself, if there is a God, he's obviously a higher form of technology and obviously more intelligent than we are. And who's to say that there couldn't have, even the Star of Bethlehem? I mean, you're going right? I don't know who's religious, but I'm saying it's not wrong, because there's still something out there that's of a higher power, and obviously it wants to do good. So, I mean, if that was the case, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that. So I just go to myself, if that's the case and there is a higher power, then they would be more powerful than what these units are, what they're doing to us, is what I guess I'm trying to say. But, and there could be a spiritual component that maybe there's no machines involved too, I don't know,
Brent,
yeah?
We usually like to hear from everyone. So can we have a few people come up? We have 71 callers at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure I'm getting up, and you don't want to hear.
No, I didn't say I didn't want to hear you. We just got to give some other people a chance to speak. That's all.
No, that's okay. It's probably I said too much already. So, no, that's okay. Go ahead. Thanks for your time, though.
Oh, that's fine.
Sure.
The call's yours. It's not mine. I don't own it. It's your call until there's trouble. Then I own it.
Oh, I get you. That's how it works. So, yeah, I don't want to get anybody upset. So, but anyway, this stuff goes through your mind because you want answers. You want answers, and
the more people that speak to you, the more answers you will get.
Yeah.
Have you tried to gain any class action suits that we might have running, or no?
Oh, you got stuff like that?
Yeah, well, bits and pieces. There's nothing really solid. They need a target to go after first. So we'll go from there.
Yeah.
I like to add too. A lot of targeted individuals think it's their local law enforcement. It's not your local law enforcement that's out to get you. They're not the ones. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but they're not the ones that are doing this targeting. This goes up to in my opinion, military level. Frank, I think you would agree with me on that. That it has nothing to do with police departments. You don't want to go to your local police department and start accusing them of targeting you and stuff like that.
I think if they are involved, I don't think they realize what's really going on.
Well, they don't have the technology to do so. It takes a lot of technology to do this to people, and your local police departments, your neighbor, your ex-girlfriend's husband or whoever, they don't have the technology to do this. It's not your next door neighbor. It's not your police departments. It's got something. It's on a broader scale because we're all going through it, and we're all not schizophrenic. Although they want us to believe that, but if so many people like us come together and realize we're having the same symptoms, having the same results, then it's got to be on a national level. And we just all need to remember that it's not really locally that's happening to us. This is a nationwide thing, and actually it's a worldwide thing because we're not the only country that's having to suffer from all this. I'm in touch with TIs all across the world, and they're going through the same thing that we're going through. So honestly, it's got to, in my opinion, it's got to be militaries. There has to be some type of military that's doing this. I think
well,
Frank
we are. I have said, and I will continue to say it, and you should all see Barry Trower's latest video. If you don't have it, if you go to targetedmassachusetts.org by computer, there's 46 pages of information there, but on the first page is Barry Trower's latest video. It's only 2 days old. So that's what I recommend. That'll be a good thing for you to do, Trent, too, is watch that video. A lot of brand new information from Barry, and he has been involved with microwaves and the industry and the military and the government in the UK for 30, 40 years. So he's very well informed. He's been the expert speaker at many trials, or at least one that I know of in western part of the United States. He was an expert witness, which is what I wanted to say.
Right. I
So
was trying to see.
It's a good listen, so you should definitely dig into that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Here, okay, I'm pulling up your site.
If anybody wants to make a comment or a question, don't forget to push *6. That'll get you through to the message here, the chat.
Lance, I
Yes.
have a question. I keep trying to look for your Facebook. Can you describe it better or put a link on the chat where we can follow you?
Yeah, I can do that. I went on Targeted Massachusetts. On Targeted Massachusetts, below the Eagle post, it's the post up under that. I posted my Facebook page in that comment section.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah, you go to Targeted Massachusetts. It's not the Eagle picture. It's the comment below the Eagle picture. I believe it's a Targeted Massachusetts symbol, and I put it in the comment there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on your site. Where do I go to watch this, the one you're talking about?
Yes, sir. No problem. Yes.
I was just wondering where you were saying something I should watch. I'm on your Target, Massachusetts site right now.
Okay. Do you see the one with the eagle?
Eagle.
You're on the
Okay,
website.
wait.
I'm talking about the Facebook page.
Oh, okay. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll look for the eagle. All right, I'll go back to that. So, thanks.
No problem, man.
Yep.
Yeah, you need to go to that site with a computer. You can't go there by phone and get any kind of information. You can get times, dates, but you can't really get any of our good information there.
Oh, I'm on my iPad right now.
Oh, okay.
I heard you say targeted Massachusetts.org I should go to, is what you said.
Yeah, well, if you can get to the 45-page computer desktop site with your tablet, you'll be all set. I think you have a shot at it. I think you can get.
Where would I look for this? How would you look for it?
It's right on the front page.
Is it? Okay. Let me look. What's it called?
It's the only video on the page, and it's...
Oh, right here, with the guy and the girl.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's right there. Okay. Oh, thanks. Okay.
Excuse me, Trent?
Yeah.
Yeah. I read somewhere that they're functioning on 450 megahertz. That's where the activity allegedly is coming from. That's the frequency. 450 megahertz.
Yeah. See, that's I'm kind of wondering. That's kind of what I sort of landed on too. From I know Ella had a lady on that had mentioned these units that they can buy and then reprogram them, and they were running around that hertz level. So I bet you that's where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's what I heard. So
now
do what you want to do.
Yeah, all we gotta do is just prove it. It's like that guy said, triangulate it, because another thing I caught with the reading is sometimes these things can only work within so many thousands of feet too. And I know that I have gone like 20 miles away to some support group meeting to kind of help myself here a little bit, and I've actually had low flying, and you could see it just like a car on the highway, helicopter, basically. I didn't see it follow me, but I seen it when I went home. And it would go so far in front of you and stop and wait and turn and watch you. And as you got caught up to it, it'd start going further down the road again. And I seen it, the red, green lights, the whole thing. I imagine it. I saw a car, I saw that. And I can also verify that I also saw when I was going out to school years before, which probably is when it started, and I didn't know it. And I had one following me back too. And I had called dispatch, and the airport actually sent a copter in the air to see if they could locate it. And they said they couldn't. And I said, well, I can see you and I can see it over there. And they couldn't see it. And then later on I called dispatch back, and they called the FAA out of Milwaukee, and they said they confirmed my sighting from the radar. So I got proof, that it did happen. So what I'm seeing is really, I did see. And that was a different story then, but the other one, like this other one following me, I saw that one too. And, and I think sometimes these units can only work within so many thousands of feet of you. So what I'm trying to say is, if this guy ever gets the spectrometer thing going and figures out and triangulates it, he might be able to triangulate either to a satellite or a copter or something. And I said to my friend, if you should have used your imagination, you can buy these really powerful telescopes that you can, see the moon with. They're almost like a foot in diameter. I've seen them. They're a couple $100. Of course, I don't have this kind of budget. But, I would think to the guy that's doing that and you're triangulating, if you had one of those things like that, I bet you could come pretty close to identifying what it is. You know what I mean? And I think that's almost what somebody's going to have to do to really prove some of this is going on. Because if you can show that, and you can triangulate that, it's going to be hard for them to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I have to reboot. I'm losing my screen. I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Lily, you want to take the comm if you want? If not, that's fine. I'm still trying to leave. Oh, there we go. Memory's full. I'll be right back.
I'd like to remind everybody that a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was 130 people got attacked by the White House. It was all over the news through, they call it Havana syndrome, and they're still investigating that. So hopefully what we're hoping is we'll get some type of, we'll get some type of justification through that. Because we have more and more people in this country that are getting attacked by these microwave weapons and these waves. Eventually it's going to attack the wrong person or the wrong people, and the political figures will get involved, and hopefully we can get something done at the White House to get this taken care of. But the more and more people who get attacked, the more and more chances we get to find out who it is. And basically all we got to do is find who it is. We'll follow the money trail, because it's all about money. In the long run, that's what it's really about. But I'm hoping that we can get something that come about with all these people getting attacked and having the Havana syndrome, the CIA getting attacked, and we'll see what happens. Does anybody have any questions whatsoever? If you do, push star 6 so you can be unmuted.
The only thing is I get hung up, but I don't have to say anymore.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
The one thing about microwaves is it's very hard for people to detect microwaves. And that's what's making it so difficult for them to pinpoint where this is coming from. I personally think it's all these towers they're putting up. It's coming to those towers. There's 5Gs, but
could be right.
Because they're going up all around the country. As soon as 5G came about, which it's been happening with me way before 5G, but cell phone towers are going up left and right.
Well, I know when I went by the airport when I was driving, I got I could feel something going on. I'll put it that way. So that must have some pretty strong cell towers there.
I live in Gold River, California. This is Maureen. And I did a search as far as how many cell towers are around me, and it was outrageous, something like 54. And only only like 20 of them were licensed. And I know that the VFW actually, in this area, they actually get $7,000 or $8,000 a month just to have the cell phone tower on their land. And so every month they get a payment of $7,000 or $8,000 just to have a cell phone tower on their land. And I'm talking about a really small area, and it's just outrageous. And there's an app that you can find out how many cell phone towers are around you. Did I scare everybody off?
I'm listening. I was just trying to send an email here to Frank. I hope this works.
And I was just curious. Is someone commented about it? It's about the money. So what you're saying is that the people, because I'm surrounded by it actually. I'm in a really nice neighborhood, but I rent. And there's been new neighbors. It happened really quickly. I saw a shift as soon as me and my roommate moved in. But the money, so what you're saying is about the money. So these people that are monitoring me, I guess, to do harm, they are getting paid, and that's what you mean by the money. The money's coming from somewhere, but the people that are actually doing the targeting, the daily targeting, they're getting paid to live next to you and nice cars and all that kind of stuff. So is that what you mean? It's about the money? For the people who are doing the targeting. Nobody has any comment on that?
Oh.
Hi, are you still there with that question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure who said that it's about the money, but this is. Have you done any research? Do you know about the weapons and this is a program? I mean, have you looked at? Have you?
Tons. I'm with the Bay Area Support Group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not sure who made the comment, but I mean, this is a program and it's getting funded, and yeah, the people that are doing this, the perpetrators, whatever, they get paid. I mean, it is about the money, and a lot of people are thinking that taxpayer dollars go toward this, toward this, that it's not legal, but yeah, I mean, it's a big business. This all these weapons, and these are military grade weapons coming from the military. So there's, like I said, I'm not sure who said it, but this is a big business. These people are getting paid.
What's the name of the app where you can determine where the cell tags are?
Okay. I've got to find it because John in the Bay Area Support Group sent it to me, and I was shocked. But I can hope I don't lose you, but I'll search it. Hold on.
Okay, can anybody hear me out there?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that, but every once in a while I have to reboot, and it's because Free Conference Call is effectively a memory hog. So every once in a while we have to do that. Go ahead, Terry.
Oh yeah, Frank. Is there anything else that you can add to that? She had a question about, someone mentioned it's about the money,
I was rebooting, so I really couldn't tell you I will tell you one thing. They might start out by being paid, okay? But they get addicted to this. That's why you have them on Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve.
Yep.
There's not one day they miss. Weddings, funerals, you name it. They're with you. So what I will say is, if you're in a gang stalking program where there is physical evidence, in other words, they are physically following you and you can prove that, okay, that's something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
They could be being paid. In fact, they'd have to be being paid because they're using gas, they're putting miles on their cars, so yeah, they have to be paid.
Exactly. Thank you, Frank.
Well, certainly, Terry, your comments are invited. We have a new guest on here tonight. I'm trying to think. I think she is from... Well, anyway, she's brand new. I saw her up here in the active area, but she didn't say anything. I'm not going to say her name. Go ahead, Palo Alto.
Oh, this is Maureen. I've called in once before.
Hi.
Hi. I was the one asking about the follow-up on the money.
Oh, okay.
And I'm with the Bay Area support group with Constance and that group.
Well, that's great. Have you got proof of that money transfer?
Oh no! Someone mentioned that, and I wanted to know because I'm basically surrounded. Within 2 weeks, I guess, of moving into my place, a whole group of new people moved in, but very quickly and silently. And I know so much weird stuff is going on. It's a joke. So my question was, where I want to know. Obviously, they're getting paid, but where is that money? I mean, the money. It's money for them. They're getting paid to do what they're doing, but where is that money coming from? Who's paying them? Because these people aren't. I mean, they're a lot of skinheads and.
Who's getting the money?
I don't know.
Does anybody?
Where's it coming from?
Does anybody have any proof that there is any money transfer?
I don't.
Yeah, when we get down to the end game, which is where we're heading here, because I don't believe this is going to be around for another year, because too much information is coming forward. And people think that I'm goody two-shoes because I say that. I'm not goody two-shoes for saying that. I'm going by what I see and what I hear from important people. So, prove, when there's money being transferred, there is always proof. I suggest that you follow these people more closely, and they may lead you back to the person who is paying them. Because I would say a gang stalking group is headed up by a local individual. It's just a thought.
Frank?
Yes.
Hi. 53 cents of every dollar in the United States is spent on the military.
Correct.
So we just have to look into the budget to see where the money is coming from.
Yeah, we have to see where
look
it's
at the
going.
CIA. Look at the experiments that were conducted on U.S. citizens.
I'm not talking about mind control experiments. I was talking about physical, boots on the ground gang stalking.
Mm-hmm. Well,
No, if somebody tells me that somebody's being paid to follow them, well, unless you can prove that they're getting paid, show me a gift card or an ID that somebody dropped. Show me some proof. That's what we like to see, and that's what we're going to need.
That's right. Exactly. Except if they're working for a corporation and they're boots on the ground and they're not made privy to the to the serious stuff. So, same thing.
I know your situation.
They have a different level of clearance.
I know
they may not know about.
I know your situation. Do you think that you have boots on the ground people following you?
Oh God! What? Like the guy with the CIA cap on that took my telephone number that wanted to fix my car, and I asked him if he went to the Culinary Institute. You mean like that? They've made their appearances.
It's all crazy. It's all crazy, unbelievable stuff. So if you say it, I mean, it's just crazy. It's true, but it sounds really bizarre and crazy.
You guys can chat. I have got 3 people that have just called that are emergency situations, and I will be right here. But I'll be about 5 minutes. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
Hi. I was just listening to a conversation. This is Deb in St. Louis. I think the boots on the ground are the neighborhood watch groups that have gone rogue.
Oh.
The National Neighborhood Watch Group started, it's a federal program. It started, it started in the 60s, but and then it kind of moved through the country. But then after 9/11, the National Watch List is run through the fusion centers. It's part of the InfraGard. So there's your boots on the ground.
Right, Deb. And here's what happened. After 9/11, the Patriot Act took place, right? So this was during Bush's term. And what happened at that point was it was deemed that it was okay to spy on U.S. citizens. Well, actually, what is it? Domestic terrorists. They were going to look at domestic terrorists within the United States. So that's when a lot of spying started to look at United States citizens. So they were spying and stuff that was going on, and people are, I guess that's now in this TI thing, that's a lot of people are, I guess, on that watch list are listed as domestic terrorists. Us. So, and then, like Deb mentioned, there are fusion centers, so you could just Google a lot of this stuff. Just do a little research. Fusion centers and take a look at that. And then I think another thing she mentioned, InfraGard. So take a look at some of those things. Take a look at the Patriot Act. All this stuff allowed for this domestic terrorist stuff to start and these programs to come about. Okay, so, but as far as a money trail, nobody has, like Frank said, where's the proof? Nobody has any proof of any gift cards or anything. But I've heard a lot of people on the call say that, they get, there's no paper trail, so to speak, but get paid with gift cards, etc. Where there's no paper trail like a check or anything like that. But that's just speculation. There's no proof that I know of. But.
Well, I also heard something through our group, the Bay Area Support Group, that I think it was that people that are stalking you on the road, they're also, because there seems to be a lot of nice cars, that those cars are actually rentals. So they get to use the car for a day or something like that, or the duration of their stalking assignment. So it's not actually a gift.
Yeah. Yeah, the cars, I heard that on another. I attend a lot of the calls, the New Jersey one, New York, New Jersey. Janie is the person, so she's got done a lot of research and, compiled a lot of proof and all that. But a lot of the cars, I think that she mentioned, they couldn't tie a lot of them back to people. They probably are some of them rentals. Some plates they couldn't determine who owned the cars. So, and that call takes place on Tuesday nights. So you may want to join that too, because she has a lot of information on it.
Well, one of the things that happened to me early on, before I really even knew what was going on, is that I would find this little sports car in the Bay Area following me, come out of nowhere, but right on my bumper, and the license plate was 4, then an N, and then Son, S-O-N. And that guy kept, and it looked like Middle Easterns, and it came over real fast, and then it would jet off. I mean, and then I contacted the police, and it was a New Jersey registration, but it has a California plate. They couldn't trace it. They said it was a dead end. Mm-hmm. So you don't know. I mean, I don't know what's all involved, but it was interesting.
It is, but like I said, that call Tuesday, Janie, she's the moderator. What's
the name of the group?
Got a lot.
Or what is?
It's the New York, New Jersey. Oh gosh, I don't know if it's.
What do I need to search? What do I need? Just New York, New Jersey.
If you go on PACS International, PACTS.
Okay.
People Against. I gotta look. While you're on the phone, if you talk to someone, I'll look at it. I'll get you the website. You go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go there, and then you go under the conference call schedule, and you'll see Tuesdays, Janie, New York, New Jersey, traffic.
Okay.
Yeah, she has got a lot of information, and she recommends people wear body cams and have a person when you go out, have a person that you can call on the phone and have one of those apps where they could actually see everything. You know what I mean? She's got a lot of information. She takes down plates. She's got a lot of information. So please join that call.
Plate readers too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plate readers that will know if you get a repeat plate number that keeps showing up. That's proof of stalking. If it's you get it like maybe 5 times a month or something.
Okay, you know what that's proof of? That's somebody going the same place as you are. You have to vary.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Vary your methods of getting to the same place. If you have to go to one place all the time, what you want to do is take a different route every time to see if they are following you. Because other than that, they are just going the same place as you. Or at least on the same road.
That's true. Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. I know it's frustrating.
It is. I went to the Bay Area Support Group on Saturday, and it was a horrible experience. It's a 2-hour drive from Sacramento. and didn't quite know what was going on, but because you don't really know it in the moment, but all of a sudden I got a sharp pain in the side of my head. And I took a different route because it was near the Golden Gate Bridge. And I don't know, I just felt really drained and exhausted and upset when I got there. And then I was glad to see everybody and stuff. And I just felt, I know that I was hit, but on the way back, the same thing happened, and it was just a horrible experience. Just the 2 hours, my GPS was taking me different off a route, and just immediately getting back on the freeway, and I could actually see my GPS just switching lanes to take another route, which really ended me right back on the freeway. So I know I was being heavily targeted, and I knew I was falling asleep. That's how bad it was. I mean,
oh boy,
it was. I mean, you had to fight it. I'm not familiar with what they're doing, trying to knock you out. And it was, I wanted to pull over, but as soon as a red truck drove around me, all of a sudden this thing was gone, and I felt normal again. I go, wow, that's over. But then somebody else came right along about 20 minutes later and hit me again. So, I mean, I've never had it that bad as far as going to the support groups. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue that.
When your GPS takes you in another direction, that's satellite. That's not anybody next to you. Those aren't people directing your GPS. That's satellite.
I saw. You know what they did? They told me to take this exit, and I saw it move. They told me because I was going way off track, and because it's main freeways, and they had me going on side roads and stuff like that. And there was no accidents or anything. But they had me take an exit, which immediately showed me driving back onto the freeway. They've been messing with my phone 1,000%.
They've done that to me. I 100% relate to you. That they've done that to me many times. Sometimes
take you on routes and just make you so upset. Yes.
No, sometimes they take me on a wild goose chase, and other times they'll show me a shortcut. Okay, that. My GPS would have never taken me on, like side streets, dark side streets, to get to the place that I'm going to really quick. So
yeah, no, they were messing with me really bad.
You just never know. They do mess with your GPS. I know.
I was exhausted when I got home. Exhausted and drained and upset. But hey, we know what it's all about.
I was going to my cousin's wedding, and they took me to a farm 3 times. 3 times. And just
the second time
left me in the middle of nowhere. Well, it was the craziest thing because there was only one. It was like one road to get on the other side of this. It's like a bridge road, but it wasn't a bridge. And a train just stopped right there. I mean, I couldn't go through, but no one else could go through either. Train just stopped. I was like, oh no, after you took me on a wild goose chase, now a train. I took out my phone. I took so many pictures because I had to prove to my family that I was stopped behind a train. Oh God, it was a disaster. My point is, this is a lot bigger than what she thinks it is.
I'm just and it's gonna be hot. We already got one. No, for Monday.
Well, I do feel that I agree with Frank. I do believe that a lot of things are coming to head, and I really think that this is definitely going to be something that is going to end. I do. I really do. A lot of things are happening, and I think it's going to end soon.
Well, I certainly hope
That's
so.
all I'll say.
I mean,
that's all I'll say, because I wouldn't say it if I didn't feel it, and I really feel that it's going to end soon. So I do agree with you.
May I ask, do you not just hope it, but do you have some basis for that belief? other than hope, although hope's very important.
I have faith and hope, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that are taking place right now in terms of the government, in terms of cleanup of a lot of corruption, in terms of removing a lot of these bad players, these corrupt. A lot of stuff's being done. So that's not in mainstream media or anything. So it's taking place right now. And this corruption, you have to remember that this, and we're not just talking about TI. We're talking about a lot of evil stuff that's been going on for centuries in this world that's being cleaned up. Okay? And this will fall into that, and I believe it'll be over soon. That's all I'll say about that. That's all I'll say about that. I really do. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it.
That's good to hear. Thanks.
Yeah, there have been I looked at a list. There have been so many resignations, quote unquote resignations, people stepping down from big positions in big corporations, major corporations that have been infiltrated. This is about, well, this is my theory. Infiltration of our government, our politicians, of infiltration communism. And a lot of people that have been, compromised or whatever by Communist Chinese Party, whatever, they have been identified and they have stepped down from these roles as CEOs in these major corporations. I mean, you've got major corporations, you've got schools, you have everything. These people have, quote unquote, stepped down. They've been removed, really. Okay? Politicians, there have been arrests taking place in the background that you don't hear about. Okay? There are military tribunals that are taking place that you don't hear about. So there are things happening. All right? That's all I'll say. And things are being cleaned up. And this too shall be cleaned up.
When you have the Air Force putting out contracts, do you ever see the contracts that go out? The Air Force puts them out, DARPA, you have the military, you have...
we got the military.
Contractors bid for them. These are government contracts that are going out. And the bidders are just doing what they're there to do. Okay? They're there to get the bid and fulfill the contract and to carry it out. Just like if they build a road. Okay, we're putting a bid out to build a road. All right? So everybody's going to bid the road, and one of them is going to get it. Well, it's the same thing with bioeffect weapons. Same thing.
But listen, just like there are good and bad factions of our military. Our military has been infiltrated. We're talking about infiltration. It has gone so deep. Okay? We have a good faction of our military and a bad faction. And it's being cleaned up. But a lot of these programs and things that the military, the bad faction has been involved in, is being cleaned up, and it probably has to do with things like these military-grade weapons, microwave weapons, whatever. But I believe things are happening, and things are taking place.
Well,
you can go on the. I have to take a look. I haven't been on the site in a while. There is a Guantanamo Bay has they have a list of some of the tribunals that have taken place. If they call it Gitmo, but not everything has been published with the ones that have with some of these major players that supposedly have gone down. But Guantanamo Bay, if you go and take a look on their go on the website and pull it up, you can see the trials, the military tribunals that have taken place, or the ones that are coming up. And there's some others that are taking place. A lot of things aren't made public right now, but they're taking place in different areas.
How do you know this information?
I have taken a look on YouTube. I've gone on there. I've been on there. We were going through the COVID, and there have been some people like Gene Decode is one person you could take a look at. He talks about the military tribunals. He is a military. He works for the military, and he's involved in cleaning up the deep underground military bases that were filled with little children for human trafficking. That he's working.
Could you tell me the name of the site with the Guantanamo Bay tribunals?
I don't have the name. I don't have the site. Just do a Google search. Guantanamo Bay.
Do what research?
Do a Google search for Guantanamo Bay, or Gitmo. It's called GITMO, or Guantanamo Bay, which is GUAN.
Right. I thought maybe there was a site where they were keeping track of all the military tribunals that are going on.
Well, do a search for Guantanamo Bay. You'll find their website. You go, and then you go on their website and look up military tribunals.
I will do that. Great idea. Great, thank you. I get it. Thanks a lot.
Okay, dear. Sure. But there's things happening, guys.
John McAfee, of the McAfee virus protection company. He was he hung himself.
He's also a TI.
He was a target. I thought.
Right, Frank?
Oh God! They killed his dog. There was a movie. He had a movie out. He was terribly harassed.
They killed him.
Yeah, it was in Reuters. I just saw the article today that he was found today. He was being extradited back to the United States.
I just got hot off the presses from the New York Post. It's in the chat.
Yeah, I just saw that a little while ago.
He left a note.
Oh, wow.
He sent a tweet last year that if he was found hanged between bars like Jeffrey Epstein, it would be no fault of mine.
Wow.
Many people said that. Many people who were found dead had warned and said, if I'm found dead, including Brandy Vaughn that worked for Merck. Young girl. She was a pharmaceutical rep.
Wow.
I have such a statement hanging on my headboard. A sworn, notarized statement.
Well,
so
you
it
could
does
add me
not
to that.
surprise me. Yeah, I'll send you a blank form. You can fill it out.
To the woman that was talking about Gitmo, that was the CIA, and the contractor was khaki. All right? What's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to the CIA? They're going to get rid of their records. What's going to happen to them? Whatever happened to the CIA when they pull the shit? Khaki was the contractors that tortured those people. The detainees. We won't even call them prisoners because nobody really knew. They just pulled their torture tactics on them. It was CIA torture tactics. And what makes you think Google's going to give you the correct information about anything? You need alternative sites.
I asked her to find their website. I didn't have the link to tell her. I asked her to Google it, and then you can find their website.
Right. Okay.
I'd love to
look for it.
To see it. Yeah.
Well, the Center of Civil Liberties, I believe, CCR, Center for Constitutional Rights. That's what it is. You could probably find it on there because they were the ones working on it. Michael Ratner was the attorney, as a matter of fact. I'm very well informed. I do a lot of research. Yeah, he's dead. He was another one who, he had a brain tumor. He died suddenly.
This is terrible.
It's just my frustration talking. I've been tortured way too long. Way too long. I've had it. I have radiation burns to my eyes. I've had it.
Sorry, I know you have. You don't deserve it.
I've lost my hair. This is ridiculous. What they have done to my body, to my happiness, to my peace of mind. I laughed twice since 2016.
Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry, and really am. You deserve so much more, so much better.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I do appreciate that. But, I'm always looking. That's all I do because I can't do anything else. I'm paralyzed. And that's what I do. I look and I look and I search. And from what I see, nobody's giving up their power because they're getting more and more powerful every day. And I liken it to, did you ever see The Little Shop of Horrors? Where he finds that little plant and he feeds it, and before you know it, it wants blood. Well, that's what the military-industrial complex has turned into. Feed me. And they're big. Right. They're not coming down too easily.
Yeah, that's a big that's a big fish to fry, so to speak. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But
There is so much corruption. Aside from us, last night I tried to, just get away from it for a little bit while I was being tortured. And I've always watched documentaries, so I see this thing, Seaspiracy, right? Seaspiracy. I watched this. It was horrible. What they're doing in the oceans around the world and how they're maneuvering and killing. And, they're taking jobs from, local fishermen. They have these fleets coming in that are just slaughtering everything in sight. And these poor people from Africa, they're starving. They're going out on these little dinghies out into the ocean begging for food. My God, it's not just us. This is corporate. This is more corporate. And all the agencies they have to protect the fish, they're not doing anything. They're making money on it. They don't even know what's going on.
Wow.
This young guy went out and he traveled the world trying to expose this. And he went to all these agencies. He went to the European Parliament. He went, what you see on your tuna fish cans? I'm just going to freaking try to find the can. Oh, great. I don't have it on here. Oh, here it is. Sustainable, okay? Certified Sustainable Seafood, MSC. They make money on every label of every can. They're making a kickback. And, you just think, well, we think the FDA, they won't do anything to harm us. you know? The CDC, they won't do anything to harm us. That's what they're there for. Well, this goes for almost every corporation out there. Every protection. Protections means profit. It doesn't mean protection anymore.
I know,
it's a big
so
P,
corrupt.
Profits.
So
it is.
Corrupt. All over, not just here in the United States. This is globally. Global.
Yeah, globally, exactly. So forgive me if I don't have that, that enthusiasm of them going to stop.
I know, I understand. Believe me, I understand. But and I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic. So and especially, I would have never thought you could have never made me believe that something like this TI, this program, existed. Not in this country. Not in the United States.
Not in this country.
Not in America. You could have never until it happened, because I didn't hear about it until it happened, and I'm like, oh my God! And then doing some research and just the infiltration of during World War II, the Nazis came over here. They came to the United States, and so they infiltrated everything. Communism. Oh my God! And I'm like, oh, we would have never thought, never in a million years, that this country would be this way. Never. And what happens here determines, of course, what happens in the rest of the world. So it's really sad, really sad. But I really feel, I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. It's existed so long, the corruption and the evil, that it's taken a lot to get cleaned up. But I really feel it's going to be cleaned up. I really do. I feel it's going on, and it's going to be cleaned up.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm envisioning it. I'm envisioning it too. I'm like, okay, this is happening, that's happening, and I'm seeing it. But
I think when this is all over, I think historians will be writing about this. I think there'll be a lot of books written by university-level historians that will write about this program.
Yeah, I believe it'll be written about and exposed, and a lot of other things too, because we have to see, as human beings, we have to see, even though a lot of people don't want to see it or acknowledge it, people have to see it in order for it to never happen again. After it's brought to the surface, and then people are going to be in shock. Like, especially, people that are not TIs, they're not going to be able to believe something like this can exist, and that people could actually physically be tortured, and their livelihood taken away from them. They're and left to be treated like worse than an animal. Worse than an animal. People won't believe it. But all this stuff has to be, it's going to be brought to the surface. People have to see it. I believe it'll be written about, this and other things that have taken place. It's going to be a big shock throughout the world.
Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate all the content that you've issued.
Oh, you're welcome, Frank. I'm just looking forward to a beautiful future without a TI program, and that is going to take place. I truly believe it. We'll be free of this.
Hi, Terry. Terry? Hello? Hello?
Hi, I'm muted. Were you looking for Terry?
Hi, Sheila.
Yeah, Terry. Hi, Frank.
Yes.
You and Ann, I would like to know if we could exchange numbers. I don't want to give it over here, but somehow I'd like to speak with both of you sometime. That would be nice.
This is Ann, right?
Annie from Peter. I can't pronounce it.
Sheila, hi. Yeah, Frank will give you my number, hon.
Okay, yeah.
You know what? It would be good to text me first because I get a lot of calls that don't go anywhere, so I don't even answer.
I don't text from my phone. My phone is a landline, and this is an iPad, and I can text through Facebook, but I don't know much about using this. I'm kind of, simple. I'm learning.
Okay, yeah, I took your number. Did I take your number yesterday, right? I've got your number.
No,
I'm a different Ann.
Oh, a different one. Okay. Oh, my gosh. What all these calls? I'm sorry, sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry. This is Sheila.
Oh, Sheila.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Sheila. I'm sorry. You sound like this other Ann that was on the call last night. You sound just like her.
Sheila. Washington State. Yeah.
Okay.
But I talked to the two of you off and on. I thought maybe one evening or something we could talk here or there. I'd like to talk with both of you. Anyway, I think you both can cook. So, yeah.
Sure. What? So your number, the phone that you have, we're not able to contact you on it, or are you on the chat?
But on here it says my email. My email's on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My email.
I'm not on the.
Huh?
Okay. I'm not on the chat, so I can't see it. So did you want to give it?
Email. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get a pen. Okay. Give me 1 second because I'm lying down. Let me get up. Bear with me.
Okay.
No problem. I'd love to talk with you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And you too, Annie.
Yeah, Annie, I'd like to chat with you too. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd like to talk with both of you.
Oh,
Give one of you a call.
There's a phone group right there. That's great.
There we go. Yes.
Oh, you got it?
All right, so now, I just got a pen. So, Sheila.
Yes.
Okay,
Kudos.
I'm ready.
Okay, it's Kudos, Kudos, Rose. It's all together.
Rose, R-O-S-E?
Rose at gmail.com.
Wonderful. Okay. So that's Sheila. Okay,
yeah,
and then?
Yeah, and Terry's. So, all right. You can do that, and I'll give you my number. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over email my information, okay?
You're going to send what now?
I'm going to email you my information, my phone and email.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
and then we had then we got Annie, right? Was it Annie?
Yeah, Annie. Annie.
Annie, did you want to, over the phone or email your information? Did you want to email it or what do you want to do?
I am so terribly hacked that they have actually frozen my iPad and nothing gets out. So it's just my phone number, and Frank has my phone number. He can give it to you.
No problem. We'll get it from him, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can email
Beautiful.
it with yours. Yeah?
Okay. That sounds good. I would love to speak to both of you. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I would like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
good.
We both like to talk about the Lord, too. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to mute. Thank you, ladies.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, we have 56 people, and it is 12:10 a.m. in Massachusetts.
How's your weather there? Frank, how's your weather?
Did you get that?
Hello?
A very nice, cool evening.
Oh, it's nice and cool. No, I didn't hear. No. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh.
Very nice and cool.
Has it been hot there, I mean?
Oh, it was wicked hot today.
Yeah.
Well, wicked hot to us, anyway. It was like 85. Real hot was 95.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, we're supposed to go up to 100 here.
Yeah, Arizona is, they're wicked. We were like 117 the other day.
I wouldn't like that. No.
Yeah, it's actually 61 now. Oh, no, I just updated. 55, I'm sorry.
Oh, God, I must be chewing in your ear. I'm cutting a pineapple and eating it.
Good for you.
It's very good. It's delicious. Well, something just popped into my mind. Does everybody know that James Clapper sits on the ethics committee for Penn State?
I really didn't know that.
That's where he belongs, right? On the ethics, in the ethics department, running the ethics department. Do you know what they do in the ethics department? Everybody seems to have one. What do they do? Talk about ethics? Do they ever do anything, or they just discuss it and keep the department open?
Well, James Clapper, isn't that something?
Yeah,
amazing.
The liar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Trained to lie.
Well, that's what happens. That's the rotating door. It's where the retired general. Look up any retired general. Cap, whatever. Just look them up. They. It's like, oh my God, what did I just read the other day? I have to find it. I know I copied it. I think this is it. Okay, it was on Activist Post, June 14th. They're making the page go away. Despite Biden's administration claiming Afghan war is over, Air Force admits it will never end. And let's see if it's here. Oh, yeah. Just as much then as it is now with the news of these prolonged bombardments in Afghanistan, more than likely, much to the delight of recently appointed U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, formerly a board member for weapons manufacturer Raytheon, who has been handing out billion-dollar contracts to his former employer like it was candy. And that's the way it goes. You know the guy that they picked for the Department of Agriculture? I don't remember his name on hand, but he was once called Mr. Monsanto. Imagine. He now heads the Department of Agriculture, and he was a lobbyist for Monsanto. The good news just doesn't stop.
So, anything new, Ann?
Not really. It's bad, Frank. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Head games?
It's everything. I'm breaking down. My body is breaking down.
Is any of
the
that
anxiety is over the top.
Is any of that coming back?
The hair? No,
yeah.
There's not even that much. That's why I don't send you pictures anymore, because there's not that much to come out anymore. It's really thin. I got a bunch today, though. Did you get my text?
No, I did not.
You really didn't. You didn't get the picture of the hair in the bathtub, in the shower stall. Oh, interesting, because it said it went through. Yes, it didn't. I told you, I am totally hacked. When your communications on top of everything, on top of all the torture, you have no communications. Wow.
Hello, Annie. I thought that's why it'd be good if we talked. I got a lot of the same things going on, you know. And it's been very, very, very hard. You know, sometimes if you talk about it, I think you start to. I feel a little better just talking tonight because I've been really sick again. So it's good to try to share a few ideas, and maybe for your hair and everything too. I mean, mine got really thin as well, but I do a few extra things, and I don't leave my stuff sit out in the open. I can't, you know. And that's helped some. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sheila, it's radiation. I know it's radiation. This has been happening for many, many, many years. I've started out with like an incredible amount of hair, so I was one of those people. I've never seen my skull. You know, if I have a part in my hair, I've never seen my skull. That's how much hair I had.
What?
So, you know, to someone who has thin hair, they would say, "Oh, you have hair," but I don't. I don't, and I have bags of it to prove that. Bags of it. It's radiation. What it's done to my skin, how it's aged me, like in months. I look like I aged 10 years in 6 months. My God. I'm embarrassed to leave the house. I start to get dressed. I'm like, oh, maybe some makeup will help. Oh, yeah, well, all my eyelashes fell out today. And I'm about to go out of the house. I look in the mirror and I start crying. And crying and crying and crying. And I can't get out of the house. So, this is friggin' ridiculous. And a lot of things, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I think from talking about it, I've talked about things that I haven't. And once they've come out of my mouth, suddenly, I don't know, I'm like having flashbacks of this information that I had. And, you know, with all the research that I'm doing, it's like I know what to look for now. Now it's like it's coming together, you know?
You know, this microwave radiation, it accelerates aging. It damages your DNA. It damages your cells. So, it's extremely deleterious to anyone's health. And so people who have been long-term chronic exposure to this microwave radiation will have acceleration of aging and DNA damage, cellular damage, so and many other things too. But it does go down to the cellular level. And so when you talk about hair loss, it's not surprising. And when people talk about skin problems, deep creases and so forth and so on, that's acceleration of aging. And so, so I understand what you're talking about.
I took pictures of my 95-year-old mother on her deathbed just so I could do a comparison of when I have my day in court, okay, when I could show pictures of my mother without a line on her face. And this is this is my relative, my father. My father looked like he was a model on his deathbed. This does not run in my family. And I've taken care of myself. Oh, my God, I've been a fanatic. I've been a fanatic my entire life, taking care of myself. How dare they? My teeth, they have attacked my teeth. Next month it will be a year that I got hit hit in the face. July 20, I think it was July 26th, they hit me in my sleep, loosened 4 teeth. 4 teeth. I lost 2 of them. Top and bottom. And you know something? Do you know that there's actually a review board for all of us? There's an institutional review board because without these channels, they can't get paid. Talk about following the money. Who's doing this to us will not get paid without everything being in place, all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, okay? And there's a review board. You imagine watching them torture us. Well, whatever they show up, every 6 months, once a year, whatever. And there's very strict policies about being used as a test subject. That's the other thing, very strict policies. Like when you say no more, they have to stop immediately. They need informed consent. I mean, there are so many things. You have to be checked by a doctor on a regular basis. So as long as we don't know who they are, well, I know who mine are, but I mean, and I know other people say that, but hey, it was DICORP, Air Force, CIA. I was there. I was with them. I hung out with them for 10 days. Not a dream. Really happened. I was on vacation in Puerto Rico on an Air Force base that supposedly was closed down in the 70s, but it wasn't. It was a full working Air Force base, and they were building aircraft to go find bin Laden. And I took pictures. So that's why I say, if I end up dead, I didn't kill myself. Because all the years that I didn't talk, all those years that I didn't say a word, I got tortured terribly. It just kept getting worse year after year. Worse and worse and worse. Why shouldn't I talk? Why shouldn't I?
So sorry, Annie.
Thank you. I know. I'm sorry for all of us. I mean, even if you get gang stalked, I mean, it's a scary thing. And that's what they do. They go after what's gonna, where your weakness is.
Right. Yeah. On these calls, I've heard people lose jobs, homes, relationships.
Yeah, I lost all of those too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's inhumane. It's just terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It is terrible, but I said to myself the other day, what cowards you are. That's why you pick older women, and maybe they don't see as well. Maybe they're not moving as quick. And it's an easy target. It's an easy one. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
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 Well, I thought when I first was introduced to the community, it seemed like we were a lot of women and we were over 40, and a lot of us were in the medical profession, okay? So a lot of nurses. And I thought maybe there was something ethical, like maybe they couldn't choose women of childbearing years. But it seems that has changed, because in 2015, there really weren't young women with children.
My daughter is targeted as well, and she was young. She's been targeted longer than me, and I've been 16 years this year, this October for me. And she's longer than that. No.
What kind of weapons, Sheila?
Huh?
What kind of weapons?
What do you mean?
Like what kind of targeting does your daughter have?
Everything. Everything. She's in California, and I'm in Washington State. I haven't seen her in a long time, but they're really working her over. And she quit her job. She's got a disability from the service. She owns her own condo, you know, with 2 bedrooms, a nice condo and everything, and in California there. She can't sleep in there because of the EMF and other things, I guess. I don't know. Sleeping in her car, in her garage.
So she was in the military?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why they think they own you if you're in the military.
I don't know. I know that it's really, you know, it's just messed her whole life up. You know, her whole life changed when my grandson, she had a child, and he died. And, yeah, she'd never been the same since. And she never had any more children. It broke her husband and her up. It was just horrible. And I didn't know about this targeting. You know, I didn't know about it.
So who does she talk to about the targeting?
Well, she tried to come on here a couple times, but I think it got so bad that she's afraid to come on the calls, you know. And then she said when she comes on the calls, it's better. Hearing the calls, then after she gets off the call.
Terry.
You know?
Terry, fix your mic.
Oh.
No,
Frank,
Terry from Florida. Just fix your mic, hon.
I'm trying to fix it. I muted myself.
This is Marcus. I just wanted to know if you could tell us some more about mind control, freedom from mind control, and nervous system molestation, and forming a group of a political group that has stood up against remote surveillance of the body and the mind.
That kind of like totally deviates from what they were talking about, I think, Martha.
Frank, while you're on yeah, right. I'm going to mark this on the calendar. I left. I sent you this at 12:30 this afternoon. Activist Post 622. Janet Phelan did a piece on neuroweapons. You didn't get it?
Yeah, I heard of Janet Phelan. She's on Facebook, I think. She was being remotely tortured, I think.
Well, Frank had her on a few times.
Okay, who did you send it to? Did you text it to me or did you email me that?
Text it. I can't email.
No, I don't have any text.
That's great because I sent you my hair on one email, and the other email I sent you that Janet Salem thing. I knew it. I knew that was happening.
You know what you have to do? You have to call me. That'll clear it up. Even if you just ring the number.
Well, you know, they know that we're not going to call everybody, because then you get to be a pain in the egg. We're not going to call it. Did you get my text? Did you get my email? Did you get my call? You know? But when normally I've been telling you, like for the last few months, I've been getting that symbol, that caution symbol, the red caution symbol, when I send you something. But or I get a failed, or it says failed, and I showed you that already. But this said it went through. This didn't say failed, and I didn't get a caution. It just said sent.
Right,
so I guess they found a way around it.
Try your email. Try emailing.
You want me to email you something right now?
Yep, go ahead.
You'll never get it. My email stopped May 17th. May 17th, they shut me off. All right, I'm going to send you the activist post here. And it seems that if I go in like other, you know, if I sign in to get to my email or I go to the library, it's like I'm bombarded with junk. Oh, my God. All advertisements. Okay. Massachusetts. Okay, just sent it.
Knock it off.
Maybe they'll tell you how to get oh, my God. Now that thing with Catherine and Bill,
yeah.
I don't know if you said this because I was outside, but did you see that they found an implant in one of his stumps?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, yeah. And no one would take it out? Wow.
Yeah, well, no one will anyway. Knock it off, I said. Fuck, things won't leave me alone tonight.
Oh, well.
How's your head doing there, Frank? How's your injury doing?
Well, apparently not too good. They're attacking him right now.
Right in the eye.
That's who he's yelling at. He's not yelling at us.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't have a chance to mute.
That's okay. Wow.
I love Frank's introductory speech every Wednesday and Friday. A lot of TIs listen and look for it and wait for it. And it's a lot of great advice, Frank. You're speaking out like for like the general public of the United States of America.
Well, thank you, Marcus. As far as that goes,
yep.
Lily put that introduction together, and I modified it to fit this call. Very little, though.
Yeah, I wondered if you were reading from a text, like the presidents when they give a presidential speech. They have a lot of words in front of them, and it sounded like you had a lot of words in front of you, and I really appreciate you putting those words in front of you to, I don't know if you did it improvisational or if you read from a script, but either way, they're excellent. And
the piece was actually the one on mind control and whatnot. That was let me see, Muamir Babashek. That was a piece on mind control. Nobody commented. No problem. It's just general information.
Well, you're really far ahead. Like the TIs are kind of lagging. Like me, I'm lagging really bad. I have like 3 waves of lags. They poisoned me. They shot me with direct energy weapons, and they have implants in my brain. So for me, it's hard to break free of the lag. But you're speaking for all the TIs, and I just want to say I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much, Marcus. Well, I guess the basic thing that I'd like to see happen right now is phone groups. I saw one forming, and actually I saw 2 forming. So if you can get the phone groups happening, we'll all know when somebody's in trouble. Now, L from New York is in trouble. So we should all try and give her a call.
Who?
L.
Ellen?
Yes.
L. Okay. She was on the call tonight, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
I heard her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about L or Ellen?
Ellen. She's in tough shape. She gets really targeted terribly, and she gets no cooperation from her other half. None whatsoever. But that's normal. Oh God, let me see. Marilyn's other half will not help her, and I think he's targeted. Doesn't know it, and he cuts her TV off, cuts her cable off, cuts everything off. He even took the plug off the back of the TV. That's what I call a good boyfriend, I guess is what he is. Boy, not friend? I don't know. What do you call that? You're a TI.
I think
so
the closer people are to you, the harder it is for them to understand. Well, they don't want to know. They don't want to understand.
This guy is...
Yeah, maybe he thinks it's tough love.
No, no. Yeah, tough love. He is 60-something years old, and he's trying to boss around somebody who's almost the same age. That's not going to work out, And you don't take the batteries out of somebody's phone and keep them. You don't cut off the internet. You don't pull the plug off the back of the TV set, because what does that do that isolates the TI from the community, and it isolates the TI from everything. No media, nothing. So I don't approve of this guy.
Well, I don't approve of it either. But you know what, Frank? It could be they're talking to him in his sleep, and they're telling him to do it.
I let him know too. I let him know.
It could be really bad isolation from churches, FBI, cops. You try to talk to them about being targeted and spread the word, and they throw a bag in your face. Same with my family and my friends. They kind of just threw the bag in my face when I'm 100% sure that I was targeted with all kinds of shit: remote neural monitoring, direct energy weapons, poisonings, property sabotages. It doesn't matter to them. They just blank it out. They just live their own happy, go lucky life.
Thank you, Anonymous. Yeah, if people keep piling in here, we'll have to go a little longer. Usually Wednesday evenings, people peter out right around 1 o'clock. So if we can get up to 60 again, we'll stay open.
Well, I think you're doing a fantastic job, Frank, moderating the calls and keeping a steady beat and giving speeches unbelievable how good they are. I'm not trying to just say that to be nice. I'm just saying that because they're true. And we can record a lot of information from these calls. And I'm glad you're posting them on Facebook.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I wanted you guys to take a look at something that Bill Binney belongs to. He is high up in this organization, and it's the International Tribunal for Natural Justice. And I put the link in the chat. It's very easy. itnj.org. Quite an organization. See if I can find Bill in here. They handle a lot of TI cases.
What do they do?
They were doing like child custody.
Yes, it's an international tribunal. So they're outside and free of the laws of the United States. Trying to find out. I'm trying to find.
If they could work with the UN on that.
Well, they're trying to work with everybody, I guess. There's a lot of TI cases. There's one in particular where a TI gave testimony, and he was definitely the real deal. And it was good. I put it on. Let me see. Commissioners. I put it on.
Robert Steele part of that.
What's that?
Robert Steele.
I'm not sure about that. What is his position?
I think he's ex-CIA.
I don't think they'd allow that.
He was heading it, and they were doing child trafficking.
I think you got the wrong organization.
Maybe I do. Maybe I do.
So I'm noticing a pattern. The TIs who end up going to other countries. So I mean, we know about 5 of 10 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Assange, Benny Horton, McAfee, Brian Tew, people who try to find relief by going to another country end up falling into the domain of the CIA, and therefore their targeting is even more ruthless because there are no laws that protect them from the CIA. That is the rest of the world is their jurisdiction, and they have no oversight. So when they start doing this game of trying to protect themselves by getting asylum in this place or that place, reporting to embassies and so forth, I think they end up getting worse targeting and die earlier. That's what it looks like. The only one that it seems to have gotten away is, what's this guy's name? I can see his face. The one that went to Russia from the NSA,
Ryan. Ryan.
No. He's a famous guy, right? Young guy, wrote books. He went to Russia.
Snowden.
You talking about Snowden? Snowden?
Thank you. So he's the only one that seems to be doing a little bit better because he's in the territory of Russia, and they probably have such strict intelligence barriers that they can't get to him.
He has full capability of his mind. Edward Snowden has full capability of his mind. He's very articulate, smart.
Yeah. But you're missing the point of what I was just saying, what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, he's a smart guy, obviously. The point that I'm trying to make is I see a pattern of people who try to get around this intelligence warfare, this cyber torture, by going to another jurisdiction, and it doesn't actually help them. It seems to make it worse. I mean, McAfee's dead now. He's been all over. I mean, he knew people, but it didn't help him.
He posts about every year or so.
Janet's not in the United States either.
Mm-hmm.
She turned into somebody who fries other people, including Karen Stewart. So I don't really have any interest.
The audio is really low. I can't hear what Frank and Sumaya were saying that much. Maybe I'm going deaf, but I'm trying to listen on my smartphone, and I can only hear. And then someone will come on. One of your guests, Frank, will speak, and I have to turn it down. All of a sudden, it's like way loud. Same with Neil Chabert.
Okay.
Like really low.
Can you hear me now?
Audio.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you fine. I hear you fine. Everyone is very clear and loud as far as I can tell.
Okay, I just wanted to find out.
No, you're fine.
Thank you so much. Looking for Bill Binney.
I wonder if Kirk Wiebe was at Catherine Horton's and William Binney's wedding?
Probably not. I don't know. I think it was very secretive. He may have been. I'm just taking a guess. They haven't been filmed together, meaning Kurt Wiebe, for quite some time. I don't know what the deal was, but they just haven't worked together.
I know this is off the subject, but Catherine Horton doesn't wear very much makeup, and she looks like Mona Lisa.
Okay.
Did something happen to Kurt Wiebe?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I don't believe so.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that he was a commissioner, but I don't see him.
Hey, Frank, did the perpetrators ever break into your house?
No. No.
That's good. So you don't need an motion detector to pick up when they're breaking into your house?
No. No.
Motion detector's not going to help you. Anything electronic they could break into.
Make up your own.
I'm kind of sitting here huffing, like, with past traumatic experiences. They broke in and poisoned my food, and the gang stalkers or unethical researchers that were paid by the hospital to gang stalk me in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then I moved to Minneapolis, and they haven't been able to find new perpetrators to gang stalk me and set up street theater and voice the skull and direct energy weapon. Kind of dried up.
When people say they break, I'm sorry. When you say they poison your food, like, how do you know they poison your food? Did you, like, end up in the hospital or something?
Yeah, I woke up in the hospital with pale skin, dilated pupils, couldn't think, talk, or walk, and the perpetrators got away with poisoning me and my mom with really powerful neurotoxins that knocked our lights out.
Oh, if you want to see tonight's or listen to tonight's conference or any other one, just go to targetedmassachusetts.org, and right at the top of the page you will see TMNEC. Click on that and you'll get a feed.
I wish I had an Iron Man suit, Frank. I could fly around and be protected from direct energy weapons.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, let me close out the recording. This is Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference, ending at 12:58 Eastern.